It's an honor. Okay, can you see Twitch chat?
I can indeed. I'm reading.
Okay.
Hello, Domination.
Dude, let's freaking go, dude. Dude, it's kind of an honor. It's kind of like, do you realize you're like in a way kind of like, as kids would say, like you're like YouTube famous or whatever?
Dude, I made one song. I just make games. That's it, right? It's crazy, but I'm really happy to be here. Like I said, I've been watching your stuff for a while, and I think you're a great content creator, both for entertainment and also for devs to learn stuff. So I'm happy to try and give any help or chat or whatever you want to do. I'm here for PRs. So
oh my god, yo, Nine Bullet, what's up, dude? Yeah, that's crazy. Did you just stumble upon the channel? Like, what happened? I think we were playing Crab Champion like organically. Like, we were just playing it, right?
So my wife found, I was just working away. My wife's like, hey, this guy is playing your game. He's actually he's giving some good feedback. I'm like, okay, I'll watch. And then I realized first I was like offended. I was like, because you were like, you know, the way you give feedback, once you get used to how you give it, it's very great. But when you're first viewing, you're not used to getting like, dude, just change this or do this or fix this. And you're right. But when you deliver it in that way, it's like, oh, dude, this guy thinks he's so great, thinks he knows everything. But then when you sit with it a bit, it's the right thing. And I think in general, people need to be able to take feedback better and understand that, you know, it's for reasons other than pride. Like a lot of people get very touchy and say, no, this is the way I designed it. But when you really take yourself away from it and think about what they're saying, usually there's a good thing. And for you, it's great. You were really good at articulating your thoughts and you know, saying exactly what you think, and that's why it's so fun to watch. And even if I'm not watching from a game dev perspective, it's enjoyable to watch also from entertainment. So I just thought, after seeing that original stream, I was like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. So it's been enjoyable because, yeah, like it's great. And like I do the same thing as you. I play everything as much as I can. I used to play a lot more, but you know, and it's hard to keep up with everything now. But play everything with a kind of eye for what are they doing right, what are they doing wrong, kind of make a little mini review. I love doing that. And very few content creators play games that way. They kind of just play for 5 hours and be like, yeah, it was good. Or,
it was fun.
It was okay.
Yeah.
That was
right.
And I want details. I want to know why you liked it. And especially like new games and getting that first impression. I just love playing everything and being like, this is what I like. And I make these little reviews. And that's why I really like your content. Development aside, it's just fun to watch. And obviously there's also really good development tips thrown in there as well. So I think it's just, yeah. Sorry
dude.
There.
No, thank you so much. That's so cool. It's cool to also hear that you value that too, because that's something that like I never found either. I'm like, I don't care if you like it or you think it's bad. I want to know like why, all right? Like what is making it bad, or like why is it bad, or
exactly. Yeah, it's the fun part. You know, it's breaking it down a bit. And people are a bit too, you know, they don't want to offend anyone. They don't want to. It's okay to be critical. It's part of the fun of liking and disliking stuff. Not everything is created equal. Like if everything was perfect, then we wouldn't have to say anything. But usually there's reasons why things do good and bad, and that's the fun part to me as a dev, just trying to figure out what is that. What are these things? And, you know, everyone has a different. It's funny because you can watch 5 streamers play the same game, and everyone will have their own little opinions. But for you, it's usually much more in depth and interesting. And you know, I don't know. For me as a viewer, I have very little time to watch stuff. So when I do, I like to watch stuff that's like. What I like to
get into it.
So it's the same kind of thing. So
I don't know if you feel the same way, but and then also I feel like when they are critical, it's like, well, it's more just like, I don't like this, right? Like that's how it like ends up being. It's like, I think this is bad, I don't like it, right? And it's just kind of like it stops there. It's just like, I don't like it, right? Like okay, you know, they don't like it, so it's bad,
or they're missing a part of the game. Like a lot of the time now, it seems they're going to play expecting something, and if it doesn't deliver to the exact expectation, they're going to dislike the game just because, especially now with all these similar games, with very similar to a different game they've enjoyed. So even if a game is doing something cool and new, they might come in with a pre-expectation of something else, and then, you know, it's hard to just look objectively about everything and be like, okay, this is trying to be something else, and I'm going to...
Here's what it's trying to be.
That. They're going to, you know, so...
Right. But, wait, can I get out of here?
Yeah. Try a hammer out. Oh, you're using the katana. There is a way. It's kind of tricky.
Okay, hold on. Wait, does it involve a crown?
You can probably crown it. I didn't design any special way out, so I think you're just gonna get lucky with a good bounce.
Okay.
Or you can just quit the line. We'll be here for hours, guys. Hours.
Wait. Okay. This is awkward. Oh, let's go, let's go.
This is stream.
Yo. I did a trick shot to get out. Yo, there is so many people here because of the hype and stuff. Yo, 9 bullets, what up? Jesse, what's up? Pockets, what's going on? He's a god.
9 bullets. 9 bullets and Jesse's are certified crab experts, by the way. So.
Oh no way!
You're gonna run some runs. These are the guys to impress.
Yeah. So we were gonna let you pick my first weapon. We were saying I don't think I've ever used this weapon, this laser beam thing. What do you think? Should we run it?
Yeah. I mean, it's, so it's like closer range but higher damage than like the auto rifle. It's kind of like a hybrid. It's not that crazy, but I enjoy it.
Closer range, okay, but higher damage. Okay. Well, wait, what would you pair with it?
A wine pair.
Wine pairing.
I would take for this. See, I play really aggressive. I play in everyone's face, and I either die fast or I win. And that's the way I like to play. But
okay, so give it to me.
With this,
should we try the katana? I never used it.
Oh, katana, yeah, katana's good, and then grapple.
Grapple.
Grapple katana into everyone, and there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay. I'm in. Okay. Check it. We've been winning pretty consistently. What do you think? What do you think will make it juicy? But I won't get one shot.
Right. Honestly, I think turn on the expensive shops. I think you need that out of anyone. You're getting that money shot every round.
Okay. Somebody just told me that. I'm like, damn, I don't think I'm making as much off of it. And somebody's like, yeah, he nerfed it.
Oh, it's if you get it. Someone did a test yesterday. If you get crossbow and money shot on Island 1, you can earn 200 or 22,000 crystals by the first shop, which is something like 20 common pickers or something. So
I think it was really strong. I think it was too strong.
It was way too strong. I've been balancing this thing for the entire beta. It's been a nightmare, but I'm gonna find those magic numbers. But
it's probably so hard, especially with the different weapons. Forget about it.
Different weapons, different like in multiplayer has to scale differently, and every difficulty has its own scaling, and enemies give different crystal. It's just one of those things. But in this case, it's like a very.
Can you turn the music down? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Yes, music's loud. Okay, good feedback. Better.
And then probably turn on the.
What do you think? Elites are good.
The elites, I'm planning on doing. Actually, I'd be interested. I'm planning on putting them to half health, so they come on every third island. So I'm thinking they're a bit too crazy on full health, but maybe.
Okay.
I mean, they're fun. They mix up the. Yeah, I think you'll be good with that for now. Let's see. Want to keep it.
Unfair bosses or no?
Unfair bosses is fun too. I mean, you do get double the crystals, so.
Okay. How does this look? Or is this look?
It's looking good. Yeah, I think. Honestly, they're the most egregious ones. I mean, you could do resurrecting. It's just a few more little gotchas, but
let's go.
I think you should be good with this.
Okay, I'm scared, but I'm down. Dude, this is crazy. Do you just randomly do runs of like your own game too? Like, do you still get to play in that way, or is it different?
No, I do, and that's the thing I'm constantly chasing, because I think I told you this before, but like you get feedback when it's really bad or it's really good, but when it's okay and it's fine, you don't hear about it. So I have to play a lot just to make sure things can be in a wide range of good and bad. I'm trying to make sure everything's really good, but it's hard to get from that okay period to very good. And,
dude, have you heard our talks on that recently? I'm so glad you said that. Like, I've recently discovered this like world, and like once you understand it, you can't unsee it. Of like, if something is done okay, even if it's not good, if it's just done okay, you'll never hear about it. And so a lot of devs just stop there because they don't realize for them it's fine and no one's complaining about it. But it doesn't mean it's like good. Whoa, the katana.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like it's easy to. Yeah, I mean, and a lot of devs just don't want to change. Once it's okay, that's fine, and they're happy with it. But for me, I'm like obsessively, constantly changing the beta and updating with different stuff, and that's just because I enjoy it. I enjoy messing around with the numbers and really trying to find that balance. And I often overstep and make it way too crazy, like the money shot thing. And let's bring it back, and it gets to a nice point. And that's the fun of game development for me. If someone told me, "Hey, make this 10, make this 50, and change this blue," I would not want to make games, because that's the whole enjoyment of it. Finding what the engaging values are, finding that fun part. And
that makes sense. Would you take this?
Yeah. I take it and sell it later.
Oh, take it and sell it. I didn't even think about that.
Because it goes up in value, so it's worth only whatever. I can't read it there, but it's worth low now, and then when you get to the shop, it has higher.
Wait,
So I noticed in the shops
up
you were
in
never selling stuff,
value.
but I think it's really good when you start getting into that kind of optimizing exactly what you're going to sell. So each island, you can salvage it for the current half of the current cost of that pickup, and the current cost scales by island. So in the shop, you can then sell it for double, like way more than what it is now. So it's a good strategy to take stuff you don't want, like a legendary you don't want, and then sell it later on and buy like 50 commons from that money that you saved up. So that's, as you get into the later difficulties, that stuff starts becoming a bit more important because you really have to make sure you're buying enough in the shop to keep up.
What the chat insider info? What the hell?
Yeah.
What the? Okay. I didn't even think about that. Damage increase to armor enemies. Shots deal more damage, but move in a random pattern. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. Wait, okay, you gotta tell us a little bit about the Noisestorm lore. I think chat is gonna be dying to know. What is the lore? Like, how did you start? You got into music, right? You probably went to some kind of music school, maybe not. What got you into it? And then how did Crab Rave come to be?
Everyone wants a big story, but really, some things just work out. You know, I made music on my computer in high school. I was enjoying it a lot, so I put it online. YouTube was starting to get a bit more interest, like a bit more people watching it, so I started putting videos there, and gamer YouTubers would take my music and use it in the background, and I would let them use it as long as they put a link to my channel. So that's how I would grow and get new people interested. I just kept doing that for 15 years or whatever. No, it wouldn't be that long. It would be, I mean, it's 15 years at this point, probably 2008, 2009 was when I started. So over time, I signed with the label, worked many years putting out music, and then eventually Crab Rave just happened to work out. Like, it really was not this big plan. Or
that the people
this,
who did the Crab Rave that was the label that you were partnered with. The noise.
Basically, I had this song and it was super tropical, and I kept trying to make it heavy because, you know, I'm trying to be a heavy music artist, and kept coming out this way. So I was like, listen, this song, how about we do an April Fool's thing? And then the label were very receptive, and they were like, yeah, sure. And so I made the video because I was kind of learning Unreal as well at the same time for the last few years before that. So I decided to try and make a project for April Fool's in a really short time frame because it was like in a month. So I was like, okay, let's just, for fun, let's make this crazy project. So I made the video, put the song with it, gave it to the label, put it out, and it was completely organic. There was no like master plan or the crabs. It doesn't matter. It just happened to be that was what the song sounded crabby. That's just all there is to it. There was no more thought put into it. So
wait. Okay, so you had this song, the Crab Rave song coming to be, and you just pictured it with crabs. And then did you do all the video animation?
Yeah, so that was Unreal Engine, which is this game is made in. So I was learning it, making prototypes, and then I said, you know what, this would be great because no one, like, it's really fast. You can like render a 3-minute video in 3 minutes, and I was like, this is cool. I'm making these beachy scenes, and I'm like, oh, this would be kind of sick to try and make a music video with this stupid song I made that was, it's just whatever. It doesn't really match my style. So let's put it all together as an April Fool's, and I'll learn something from it. At least I'll learn how to make a video. So it just came together really nicely. It wasn't like anything more than that. So it was all done in like the music from the music video was all done in like under a month, and the song was finished a bit before that. So it was just a really fast project that just came together nicely, and I'm lucky that it worked out. But
yeah, what the hell? Let me lower myself a sec. They want to hear the star, bro. They don't even want to hear me anymore. They're like, "Yes, shut up."
Can I respond to? There's a thing in chat that was asking a question.
Feel free to stop, and you're in charge of chat, man. How about that? You're in charge of chat.
They said, don't you think the latest nerfs on beta, or especially on healing, makes the game less fun and more frustrating? So, just to quickly talk about one thing, is that in previous versions of the game, you got damage, you win. You got free max health after every boss. It was just very simple and one-dimensional. You just didn't have any strategy. You just won by picking up damage. So in this whole last 4 or 5 months in this beta, I've been trying to make it so that every part of your build is kind of interesting to go for. Like health you have to worry about, max health you have to worry about, healing you have to worry about, you know, luck and other things you have to worry about more. And I feel it's way more satisfying because then you know there's always a part of your build kind of weak and you're trying to get that nicer instead of just saying, oh yeah, the damage chest, I'll pick that one. So that's why I don't think it makes it less fun and frustrating. I think it actually makes it more satisfying. You just have to kind of work a bit harder to get that snowball crazy build, because everyone wants that crazy one-shot win everything build. But you know, it's not fun in my opinion if you're on the hardest difficulty and you can just get that by picking one option and just winning. So that's just the general gist of that. But you know.
So was the question was a nerf to healing? I missed it a little bit.
There wasn't actually any nerfs to healing as far as I'm aware. I mean, like there was adjustments so that I was noticing actually in your playthrough, you were going from like 1 health. You go, oh no, I'm almost dead, and then you would like kill one enemy and you'd be at full health again. Yeah, and that's not fun. There was no tension. You're just getting back from 0 to 100 in like an instant. So I did make some adjustments to lower healing and raise max health. So takes a bit longer to like fill back up, you know. But I think that's healthy. I think that's better for the game than just being either I'm one shot or oh I'm full. And then because as soon as you're full, you're back into I'm coasting along. There's no you know danger here. But now you're like oh no I'm half health. I have to really work to get this skillfully back by meleeing enemies because that's the perk I happen to get this run, and that's fun because you're building around your build instead of just being this binary 1 or 0.
So what I've also learned,
I'm full or not.
And this could be something you know, or I'm sure it's something that you've probably thought about. But what happens is when you have this like live testing center, right? Your game is out in the open, so people are buying the product and learning how it is, right? Like this is how it is right now. So when you have room to say and like change things, it's the product also changing, so then they're gonna react to that. And so sometimes it puts you in these situations where the game that they understand now, if that changes, it's like, well, this is different, right? But like sometimes it's like, well, now I have to relearn the product. It doesn't mean it's bad, but it is different. It is, right? And a lot of times emotionally you just react negatively to that by human. We don't do it on purpose. And I noticed I've talked with so many people. Actually, I had another day just 2-3 days ago where Ruby kind of messaged me, and I don't want to go into details, but and we see like action RPGs deal with this, where if you're in this hole or this spot already, you can't really just dig yourself out without a lot of backlash, right? Where there's like, you know, there's a game where it's like, man, everybody, I've noticed there's power creep and now everybody's too squishy, but if I just put a patch out there and it just makes everybody tankier, everyone's gonna complain because that's all the part that they see. They don't see everything. They're not trained to. They're not, right? People are not interested in design. They just know, hey, why is everyone becoming tankier, right? So it could also be like that, where it's like, well, yeah, the game is morphing, even if it's for the better, but it is changing, and that is a reaction, right?
Oh, dude, this is the biggest thing in early access, and it's something you just have to deal with in early access if you're going to make big changes. If you're going to just do here's the game, I'm going to add extra content, that's it, fine, but I think to make a really good game, you have to be willing to make changes like this, or else you're just going to have a mediocre design that's never going to get better. And I actually read a really funny comment on Reddit today, which was, not funny, but just interesting. It was like someone said, oh, noise is nerfing everything, but I thought Crab Rave was meant to be a game where you get powerful, and I thought he'd only buff the worst items. And like, yes, that's what I have been doing for a long time, but as soon as you go too far, the game is trivial, and you just blast through the whole thing in 2 seconds. Yes, you get really powerful. Yes, it's fun once, and then you're like, oh, that was it. I killed every boss in like 2 seconds. Cool. All right, I'm gonna play something else now. That was okay though. But if you nerf it, make it challenging, they have to try and work for it. It takes more time. Yes, you're gonna get people who are angry, but overall, you're gonna get way more people who are actually happier with the game because it's satisfying. Right? Yeah, and you just have to do it. It's gonna be short-term backlash for long-term.
I don't know if they can see that, like, sometimes nerfing things or making things worse is increasing the, like, replayability and build diversity.
Enjoyability, yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. Yeah, sorry, I know you're in a very intense elite fight here.
Yeah, you take over. You talk. Right? I'm probably dead.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I think I'm dead.
Sorry, I'm just watching this.
This is not the time to katana, huh?
Yeah. The double. I probably should have mentioned the double elites are probably a huge step up. Because
oh my god, he's on fire! He's on fire! He's on fire! He's on fire! One's dead.
Go on. Get it.
Okay.
Double tens for me because I don't know what happened.
He's just spraying.
Ruby says I get that all the time. Yeah, I think it's just a necessary evil of at some point you're gonna just, have to nerf stuff. Oh no,
I stepped on fire. I stepped on fire. Bro, wait. I actually like the katana and playing aggressive. I've never done that in this game because, like, I
Hell
feel
yeah.
like damage is just sporadic in this game. Like, I think we kind of talked about it. We'll talk about it more later. And I have a couple little tidbits and, like, suggestions as well. But, like, but it is fun when you get to, like, engage with them and, like, the katana thing. Wait, I think I found, like, a new love, actually.
I think the most fun way to play, once you get it, is the grapple, either hammer grapple or hammer katana, or sorry, grapple katana, and then just close range, being in their face, dodging. Like it's a weird method to the madness. I know it feels very random. There's enemies all over the place, but there's this weird rhythm that you get into, and it's just like you can dodge, and you're weaving, and that's the kind of thing I'm trying to make people understand.
Yes.
Because a lot of people will default to like backing away and trying to be far.
Yes.
You're really in their face. You get these satisfying moments. You're breaking the rocks. You're getting, all these little events are happening, and you're kind of, you've got a mental map of where all the damage is on the map, like the crystals and the fire rocks, and you're leading the enemies into it, and there's just this cool kind of flow, and I'm trying to go more and more in that direction with your updates. Still a lot to go, but it's there when you really play that way, and you kind of have to just, I guess there's a lot of stuff I have to improve on in terms of telegraphing and all the cues and all that stuff, but when you get into that state, I want people to understand that it does feel really like you get this, I don't know, like the flow state, and you're just kind of grabbing.
What up, Garth? Dude, I've also realized that like there is this weird in deep, like as you get deeper into design, like sometimes making things like weaker or making enemies tankier and stuff changes things, so how you work problems out and how you value what you're picking gets like a lot deeper. It's like a lot more creative, right? Like I'm gonna value, well, now it's not just get damage, but like how I interact or how I'm doing my damage. Right now, it's like all of a sudden these parts of it are a lot more interesting because it's not all flat, right? Or like whatever. And I feel like that's what you're creating here. It's like, oh, so I noticed when I was in the bad spot before you got on the call, and I was like, well, we could heal some with vampire melee attack or something. I'm like, okay, let me work this in a little bit, right? And it gives that more feeling, right? Or now I don't find any normal means, but I find like healing amplifier, like I heal better. Now I want to lean on vampire even harder as opposed to
exactly. And then every run has a little puzzle, right? You get this little puzzle of, okay, this run I got this over time, or if I do this certain thing, I'll heal in this way. So you kind of play around it rather than just. Yeah, in the previous versions, it was all just you got a free guaranteed heart, which is a basic max health up, and healing didn't really matter that much. Also, there's a big thing I changed in this, which is in the previous versions, it was all about kind of don't get hit so much. Like you're losing, you're losing your health is very valuable, and if you don't get hit, if you get hit 5 times, you're basically gonna lose the run, even if you're healing. And it was just very oppressive feeling where you're like, oh well, I'm basically dead because I'm only 10 health and there's 3 more islands left, and you don't even. I feel like I stumbled upon that if you allow the player to skillfully heal back fast, but also can take damage a bit more often and make mistakes, it's actually way more fun because then they're in this constant tense engagement of, oh no, I'm low, oh great, I'm unhealed, oh no, I'm low again, instead of you're just whittled down to low, and then it feels like, oh, I may as well just quit the run because I'm just going to lose in this next run. I think a lot of roguelikes do successfully pull this off though, like Enter the Gungeon, great game. It does revolve a lot around don't take damage, learn everything really well and learn the attack patterns. Don't get hit. But it just the more I'm playing, the more I'm like, wow, it's so much more fun to be not like you're full and then suddenly you're down, but then you can skillfully make your way back up to full. And I've had a few moments on this beta where I'm like, the league puts me in a real tight spot, but I'm able to get out of it. Whereas in the previous, that would just be the run over, and there's no kind of comeback story. There's no, tense fight near the end. So I think,
it's so funny. Like like the things and like how you talk and stuff is like the same things that I have with like my clients and stuff. And it's like we don't understand sometimes how, as we set out at the gate, before we even make our game, right? Like the foundational phase, and we're brainstorming and creating it. You can already tell where your game's gonna end up, right? And so sometimes they'll like to piggyback off what you just said. Sometimes I hear it and I said, okay, cool, but your end objective is going to be killing an enemy. That's your conversation, right? So we have to focus on that and how we kill our enemy. That's your only conversation, right? You're setting out of the gate, and like you said, a lot of games are just don't get hit, kill enemy in your way to get out of the room, kill the enemy, right? So now the conversation to the player is going to be, how do I kill the enemy the fast? How do I kill this enemy? Get him out of my way. Give me damage. And so sometimes if we set out the gate and say, hey, do you want to ask other questions here, right? Do you want to ask, should I fight this guy? How should I fight this guy? And then all of a sudden, when you start to have that kind of design brain, where it's like, do I want the question of don't get hit, or when is it okay to get hit? When is it okay to be aggressive and be okay with getting hit? How should I? And that's kind of like what you're talking about, what you're pushing into. And I love that you think that way, because it's actually so important of asking the questions. What am I asking of the player here? And am I making a game where it's don't get hit, kill enemy, right? And when you evolve into that, well, your game can only be so creative, because the end goal is going to be kill enemy. Like, action RPGs have been struggling with this since their inception. And that's why I knew Path of Exile was going to end up like Path of Exile 1. Because they're locked into a space now of delete enemy. Just delete it. Don't ask other questions, right? And now players don't care about the resistances on the enemies, anything like that. That's just annoying, because it's preventing the objective of kill enemy. So if you make it tankier now, if you do anything like that, the players get mad, because now it's just delaying our job to kill the enemy. It's just delay. You're just adding more HP to them, right? That's just delaying the objective of just kill enemy. I'm not going to play differently. I'm not going to do anything. You're just adding time. And they're locked into that cycle, and they don't see it. They're locked there. They cannot get out of it. And if they get out of it now and try to, their community will backlash. And so it's a hole. They're stuck there now. They would have had to, right out of the gate with Path of Exile 2, they would have had to set a new foundational standard, right? But now they're locked in it. It's done. You can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's really hard. And a lot of games like Path of Exile have such passionate and huge fan bases that it really is hard to pivot. Like, if you're going to pivot, you have to do it on the first release, or else. That's the thing. The big lesson is, if you can, try and release with the things you want to do. But if you can't, like early access, which is most roguelikes, it's fine to pivot, but you have to be able to have the flexibility that people know you're going to... Like, I think if you're too... It's really hard to say, because, like, in some cases, people expect a very specific thing, and if you're going to change it so drastically that it's now plays like a different game, for example, like, say you had some tower defense elements, and then you changed up to, oh no, they were just slowing the game down, I'm just going to go with only action. Those kind of changes will rub off people really. Like, people may not ever play the game again the same way. But if you're okay with making big changes, but keep the core idea of what the game's about, like the flow, the state, but make it more interesting to deal with situations like, for example, you were saying with the healing, you know, you have to think about it a bit more. Okay, I have a melee heal, so I should use melee more often, build around that, and then that kind of gets the run going in a new direction. I think that stuff is great, and people, even if it means general nerfs to healing, which isn't really, but it's just a different way of getting the healing in a more satisfying way. And I think finding those numbers is the real time-consuming part. And it's like, this beta has been running for many months, like 3 months or something at least.
Yeah.
And I'm still fiddling with the numbers and trying to figure out the right balances, because it really, you change 5 things and 5 other things in a different category break completely, and then you have to really think about how they're going to work, and then the community comes up with all kinds of wacky builds that just completely breaks that new change, and then you fix it, and then another thing changes, and it's just, that's how it goes. And I think if you're able to constantly change, and you know, you're showing that you are working towards a goal that people actually do want, which is the same game but better and more fun and more engaging, then they will forgive you. But if you're going to say, okay, you know what, Crab Champions is too much, you know, third-person shooting, I think I'll go with the top-down. Then you've just kind of you've changed identity.
Butchered
it. It's tricky though. Yeah.
I you know what resonates with me that you just said is, if you set the expectation that I will be changing things, right? I'm not just adding content. I'm not adding stuff on top. I will be changing things. And you set that expectation. What I'm hearing is they almost get used to it because you set that expectation, right? They don't, it's not like, oh my God, what is he doing? It's like, wait, no, he always does this. We're used to this. Like, it's going to change, right? And that's what I'm kind of hearing, is you set that expectation for your community, in a way.
Yeah, well, again, I'm saying this from personal experience, there are different types of people, and most people in the beta for this game, for Crabs, are great. They really understand that it's changing all the time, so if something feels terrible, it's fine. It'll get you ironed out in a few days, whatever. But there are people who dip in from the main branch and expect the beta to be the version that they're playing. Like, today there was a negative review on the Steam page, like, beta sucks. Because the beta does suck, and like there was a money bug where I was reducing prices, and that feels bad. But it's a beta. And a lot of people they will see it as, you're letting me play this, therefore this is the game. And I
that is
try
the
to
reality.
empathize as much as possible, because that's just the reality. That's the consumer. That's who's going to be playing the game. And that's, I'm not mad at all at these things. I should have probably, you know, forestalled that a bit better. But it's just the reality. If you're going to be making these changes, some people will take it well, some people won't. Just don't be afraid to do the changes, because there will be negative feedback no matter what. There'll be either people, no one plays the game anymore because you buffed everything and everything is too trivial, or you did make good changes, but yes, the game's a bit harder. It's a bit, you know, people love getting used to certain builds and certain pickups, and if you remove something from the game, they're naturally going to be upset, and that's just something that will fade over time if you've made the right choices. And that's what I've been released so far.
The right choices for the game. is what I'm hearing is like, you need to find the right choices for the game. What's best about it? And there will be emotions, like you're saying, no matter what. There's going to be emotion. There's going to be people that love it, hate it. I'm angry, change, this and that. That's going to happen by nature because we're putting a product out there that we're changing, right? No matter what. It's like every time Discord updates or our app on our phone, we're gonna react. It's changed no matter what. We're not even talking good change, feeling unchanged, great change, bad change. We're not even talking about that. It's changing. So changing is, we're gonna react. And so we don't realize that we're putting a product out there in early access, and it's going to change. Well, if we're not people pleasing, we're not just adding content, it will change. So to make something great, we know things will have to change and evolve, right? One, we know that. So we're almost signing ourselves up for that. We're saying it's going to change if we're gonna make it good. We're also saying we're putting a product out there, so we're asking for it. And that's the reality of it. You're not going to please everybody. Actually, you're probably going to make a bad game if you are trying to, right? And dude, that's so powerful. Like, I wish more people can understand that you're signing up for that. And that's a repercussion that comes with early access. And I don't know if you saw earlier, you're going to love it, but we went through a conversation in early access and analyzed it. You should watch that later. It's going to be great. Anyway, it was a beautiful story and had a happy ending, actually, with two random consumers, you know, and you know, forum fighting and stuff. It was so beautiful. And pure cinema. But it's, to make good changes, people are going to react, right? No matter what.
Yeah, and the curse of any early access roguelike is, here's the game, we're not going to make any big changes, and here's more content, because you'll never, it's very unlikely. You might be just so good at designing that you came out with the perfect game on the first try, but very unlikely. And I think if you're unwilling to make those big changes because you're scared of feedback, or just it seems like the middle-sized roguelikes seem to be in such a kind of production schedule that they're just unable to shift. It's like, no, we've the next 2 years planned out of content. Sorry, this is how it's going to be. You're just limiting yourself to how good the game could be, and there's often small things that could really make a big difference, and then they're just not going to ever be seen because, sorry, we've got a roadmap here where, you know, this is the big update where we add 10 bosses, but if the core design was tweaked a little bit, which it could have been, maybe it would have been a really good game. And I see this all the time, and I think just the smaller team you go, the more willing they are to kind of make big changes, knowing it's the right thing in the long term.
Dude,
and also,
did you see? No, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, just one small thing is like skill expression. You know, players get better, and in this game especially, they've gotten so good that I have to keep making the game, at least the hardest difficulties, have more depth so that they can keep enjoying it, because they're like, dude, I win every time. You know, there's no doubt trying, and that's something that happens too, right? Your users will get just really good, and then
really good. Yes.
You have to try and support them while also not making it too annoying for people who are just getting into it. So there's a lot of factors in that. But
I was just gonna piggyback off what you said, actually. The whole, like, you get kind of like lost and you start adding sprinkles because you want to please. Like, that literally happened a couple weeks ago with Die in the Dungeon, and I couldn't believe it. And I remember loving the game. I was so excited. I actually made a video. I'm like, yo, it's one of my most excited this year. And then I played the release candidate, and they cut off everything that made it special to fit it into the box of, like, what users expect, like we were just talking about. Like, they wanted, like, we want Spire because we're used to that, so give us Spire. They cut off, like, all their identity, their event systems, and everything, and they just threw on a Spire map. They threw on literally everything, copy and paste. And I was like, dude, what happened? They were, like, so... But they were just so close there, and they must have reacted. And now they're getting complaints that it's not special enough, and now they put out this thing like, yeah, we're gonna try to work back in everything else. And it was so funny because my chat was saying, yo, yeah, they cut it out so they can add it as an update later and make it feel, and it's weird. You can see that limbo happening real time, but they're too close, so they don't see what's happening. But it's like, yeah, snip snap, you know. And it's like, dude, that's why you need to get in, like, powerful conversation. They're gonna react no matter what. You just have to do the right thing for your game, right?
yeah, I think you just really have to. I see a really surprising amount of games also launching without some kind of open beta, or at least some kind of beta where people can come in early and play. I think that's so weird that they will put, I mean, that's like hype or spoilers or whatever, I get it, but if your game isn't really great and then you come out with this mediocre release, everyone's gonna shit on it for the first week. A lot of people will refund. Yeah, you'll fix it in a week, but most of the people will be gone by then, and that's just way too late. And it's just fixed by one beta or a call with you or something like that. Like, there's a lot of options that I feel like people just ignore just for the sake of spoilers, or I don't know what the reason is. Maybe they're satisfied with their own QA or whatever in studio, but I feel like people playing the game is the most valuable thing ever, and it's still, like, for this game's been out for like 2 years or whatever, and it's still so valuable to see what people are doing, because people just find all kinds of weird combos or just have all sorts of really good you know, insights, and I just find it odd that you would put 5 or 6 years making a game
And
and
hedge
then
your bet.
put it out without, yeah, without that crucial step. Because I don't know, it's interesting.
Bro, speaking of, your game is sitting at like a bazillion reviews. Holy crap, man.
Oh, I'll give you a little tip for devs in chat. One thing I really focused on is go to every game you like, play it a lot obviously, but look at the reviews, read the bad ones only, and read why people, oh, I just saw the Elite Firecraft. Oh. Read the bad reviews and write down the common points across all these games of why people reviewed negatively. And usually, a lot of the time, it's a really simple fix, like sensitivity, mouse inversion, certain settings, bad performance. Certain things have come up so many times. And I just tried my best before launching anything to try and hit all of those common ones within reason. Like I don't have the game localized, or there's a lot of stuff still wrong with it, but I tried to find all of those negative things that were in my power to fix and just fix them. And I think it really helped, because if I didn't do that, I feel like I would just lose like 25% of the reviews from basic stuff that could have been simple to fix, like, you know, mouse inversion or something like silly like that. Because like some people do need it to play, and I understand like it's annoying if you buy a game and it's just not possible, and then, you know, negative review, and they're not going to change that back, so you've just got a negative review. So that's my basic tip for that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's I always like to say, like, expect that all the negative reviews you're gonna get. Tell yourself, are you okay with that not changing? Because most of the time they will not, right? Like they're not spending all their time in their day coming home after work so they can go review this game, and they don't care. They're not even gonna think about it again, right? Like they don't care.
No,
You're gonna be
that's
stuck
one shot.
with
You
it.
got one shot.
You got one shot.
Yeah, you got one shot to impress, and if you just make a silly mistake, they're probably not going to come back. And that's crazy that you would not just do a beta or something beforehand to make sure, but it does happen all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Bro, I think you got me a katana believer, by the way.
Oh yeah, nice. Sorry, I'm
Oh, dude,
like if I was trying to play right now, I would be
in chat, by the way.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But he says, do you ever think about the current public beta format versus the more focused group format? Does it even matter in an early access game? Honestly, I much prefer people on their own will, on their own time. Just if you want to play the game, play the game. If you want to talk about the game and say what you did or didn't like, sure. I don't want to be like, hey everyone, you must play at this playtest from this time to this time, and then fill out a survey, and then, you know, it's all locked away behind or whatever. So I think the way it is now, where the Discord is there and everyone can drop in and out as they please, there's been such an amazing community that just naturally formed over like the last few years, and there's actually a lot of genuine friendships and people in there every day, and it's awesome, and it's completely organic. I'm not saying, hey, everyone has to play and do this thing, and because I wouldn't want to do that, but I love talking about games and giving feedback and thinking about games too. So I just think naturally let people do it. Don't make it annoying. But I think like a public beta format is definitely better than a focused one. I mean, I haven't tried the focused one, but it feels like a lot of these releases from these like AA games who fail on a lot of those, you know, have the bad launches or whatever, they probably do have these focus group tests. But are the players passionate people who really care about the genre or the game? I don't know. Maybe not. And I think that just makes a difference. People who really want to be there are going to be there, and they're going to be talking no matter what. Just give them a space for it. I think what is currently in the like, I'm in the beta discussion channel like half the day, because I'm just, you know, in between compiles of my game, I'm just checking in, and there's so much healthy, cool discussion and genuinely cool people in there and who really like the game, and there's no like toxic. It's just fun, and people are just there because they want to be there, and I think that's the most healthy thing. Sorry for the rant. Yeah.
No rants, bro. They're used to. I primed them for this moment for years.
Yeah.
They probably love it.
Yeah.
You freaks.
Let's see. Any other questions on chat?
I think there was some. I think.
Does Noisestorm have a date for 1.0? No, I'm very, very purposely no, because I know better than anyone. I had a date for the early access launch for years, and I missed it many times. And I just think if you start, like, I think deadlines are good for updates and to keep yourself kind of going towards a goal. But if you set a 1.0 date without knowing if you actually will get the work done, because it's impossible to predict, in my opinion, just to the amount of things that can change, I think it's better just to leave it open until the game feels ready. Then give yourself 6 months, make it really good, polishing everything, then the trailer and all that, and then release a date. I think releasing dates is and obviously I'm in a luxurious position here where I can take my time and really work on the game, but I still feel like if you're going to stick to this schedule and you know, an arbitrary date is your 1.0, you just may miss the potential of the game. So no, in short, I'm probably gonna just work on early access indefinitely until I feel it's ready, and then when it's ready, I'll slap a 1.0 in there and make a trailer.
I love it. It's like things we talk about all the time. Ruby, you hear that? Don't make us any dates that we have to cram for, all right?
Well, I did do, this beta is 5 months in the making, so I should probably I mean, there is a date now, March 24th, so I'm going to hit that date, but it does make you cram up and it does make you work. I think it's important for smaller stuff, but yeah, 1.0,
yeah,
definitely no plans, no roadmaps, just when it's ready, it's ready.
Not only that, I you know, from a consumer perspective, to kind of the other voice is, we just want the date because we like looking forward to things. I think that's what it is. When you know that big update's coming for the thing you enjoy, you just get excited. And I think that's what they actually want. They want that. That's what they're saying, right? Like, get us hype. Give it to us. And that's why I tell my clients, bro, like, you better be talking about the update, right? Because it's not only like, they see it as like, oh, you want me to like sell, I'm selling myself, and that feels murky, right? We don't want to sell, right? Ugh. But it's like, no, you're just sharing what you're working on, and we see it as excitement. Like, we're like, oh, we just want to get excited about it. We don't see you as you trying to sell. We see it as like, yo, we want to get excited too, right? Like, we're two friends on the couch hanging out, and we want to just get excited about the thing we enjoy. And I think that's what it is. When you get to see that, it's like, we like the posts, we like the patch notes coming up, the big rework you're talking about, right? We just get excited.
Yeah, and it's actually my part of why dates suck is because every update prior to this, I gave myself not enough time to hit a date. Therefore, all the marketing, all the actual hard work ended up being rushed. So I made these fast trailers, these poor screenshots that weren't very good for marketing. And that actually hurts you way more than just not having a date. What I did this time is I tried to, I added like 2 months, but it's still almost like 10 days away. So I obviously just keep adding stuff. But the general idea is that you try to give yourself a bit more time to make the hype, the marketing. I'm going to try and make this kind of cheat sheet of all the new stuff on the update, because there's a lot of, like, I just added multiplayer reviving in yesterday, I think. So now that's a big feature people have been looking for. So you don't just have to sit around watching your friend fight some big tanky enemy who's going to take 10 minutes to kill. So stuff like that is going to be on like a cheat sheet, and I'll put that out and then try and make a trailer that's a bit better and a bit more involved with, you know, cutscenes and stuff. So yeah, that's another reason why dates are kind of a trap, because you'll put all your time into making the update and then you'll have nothing to show, and you know, people won't see, 90% of people won't see what you just did. They'll just see, oh, there's an update, okay. Maybe
they're not gonna,
they might not even know that. Yeah,
that's why I hate as a gamer, the worst are like when you do a big update and you're like, oh, we're just gonna leave, we don't want to spoil it, we're just gonna let them figure it out, we're not gonna go over patch notes, we're not gonna go over balances. Bro, you're essentially asking that we figure out and touch every single thing in the game that we've now learned and stuff, to then try to figure out if there's a change, and especially if it's behind the scenes. You know how much like analytical work, like how are we gonna notice that something has changed, or a percentage has changed, or a damage up has changed? We're also conditioned, we're used to it being a certain way, we're not even gonna notice things, we're not gonna, it's impossible. It's actually
Most
impossible.
people won't. Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah, I think people will no, for me, and you too, I'm sure, reading patch notes is a huge part of the fun of any game, because you're looking forward to all the new stuff, and you're reading, it's like Christmas morning, you're reading all the cool things, and you're excited to jump in. And even if the update sucks, the joy you get out of reading that patch note list is almost part of the fun part of the upgrade.
It is one of the best parts about early access. We love that part.
Exactly. No, and I'm a firm early access believer for the reason of you get all these dopamine hits from all these updates, like Noita. I'm sure I think you did, but I haven't seen your take on it. But when that was coming into early access through all the major updates, it was so fun to you just get so much more out of the game, because you get to experience it in every phase of its life, and often they're all fun in different ways, and you kind of look back on them and you remember this old update. But yeah, no, to your point, patch notes, you got it. Yeah, like, imagine there's new updates, like added new stuff, go check it out. No one's going to notice or care really, because they're just going to play it. They might enjoy it, and that's cool, but they're not going to realize all the stuff you did and all the cool hard work you put into it. So that said, when there's a soup of like in this case, I've hit the Steam limit a long time ago. I'm sure Ruby Dev knows all about this.
Yep.
When you hit the limit on Steam, you have to break it up into like separate posts. So I'm probably gonna condense some of the number stuff into a different like, go read it here on the beta forum, because there's just too much information. And when you do see a massive soup of small numbers, people understandably will glaze over a bit. Only people who really care about every different thing in the game. But I do think it's important to have that stuff somewhere. Just have the main points all nicely presented so you can really understand what to look forward to.
Dude, I'll go even further. So I'll give you like a new Game Doctor perspective here that I've discovered this year that's like really powerful. And I'm curious your thoughts on it is, and this happens everywhere in life, is that leaving it for them to just see is still locked in their world and their perspective of what they know, right? And it's the same when you look at film, and so it's easier to talk about film here than it is talking about gaming. It's something we're close to. But if we look at film, right, a lot of people can like watch a blockbuster or just an average moviegoer will see a film in one way, whereas if I or somebody that studies film will see it a different way. We're gonna be like, oh my god, look at this shot, look how they portrayed it, look at the lighting. But an average moviegoer won't. So another thing that patch notes can do beautifully is that you guys are already doing a lot of this hard work, but if you don't set their vision of it to appreciate your hard work, you're just leaving it to how they interpret it, right? And so what I mean by that is if you now showcase your work and say, hey, we changed how enemies operate when they surround you and this and that, they're now going to notice that and gave them a new viewpoint to appreciate that because you taught them to appreciate it. Right? So it's the same thing. Like, I got into like fidget spinners before they were popular. It's stupid, right? But I just want to show how this applies to anything. And if nobody has the appreciation for craftsmanship, they'll just buy a cheap one or a plastic one at the dollar store and whatever. It's fine. But if somebody taught you about the craftsmanship that can go into like a really fancy product, right? Like, oh, this is why it's so cool. It was handcrafted. This is metal, the metallurgy or whatever, and the craftsmanship that went into it, you're now going to appreciate it. The same way as if somebody comes out at a fine dining restaurant and explains the food, how this came from the garden, how this got imported from France, this and that, your food now tastes better, right? You're like, you're noticing, you're paying attention to things that you've never paid attention to. Maybe when you pick up McDonald's, you just eat it. So I've noticed that there's a power there that we don't talk about yet, where you can set the lens for how people appreciate and look at your work. And that's also what patch notes can do. We don't even go there yet, where you're not just selling or telling them about the new stuff, but you can also teach them what to appreciate in your work. How cool is that? Like,
yeah, no, it's a powerful thing. And like, I'd say a very small percentage actually read the patch notes on Steam. That's why I'm trying to put more things in the lobby and show them. So
your
they
billboard
load
thing
in the game
is the
and
coolest
there it
thing
is.
ever, by the way.
I'm adding a second billboard to have like that cheat sheet I was talking about earlier. So they're going to see, oh, all this new stuff. Cool. I'm going to try this new thing. And there we go. And information is delivered in a way they can't miss. It's literally right in front of them when they load in. I think that's going to be nice. 'Cause I get it. Patch notes are dry. If you're not super into the game, you just play it now and then for fun, whatever. It's fine. You don't need to read the patch notes, but jump in the lobby. There's a little sheet that'll, hey, did you know? They'll tell their friend like, oh, did you see this new thing? I didn't know this was a thing, and they might know. They might have never known ever if it wasn't on that billboard, and now they might go play trying to find it or do it or whatever. It's trying to deliver the information is definitely important.
Yes, dude. Yes, that is so exciting.
Two billboards.
Two billboards.
Two billboards.
Holy! I think I'll plug more questions again. By the way, I can't keep up.
Let's see. Oh, Steam limit can be to some degree tricked by converting text into pictures. That's a good idea. I might do that. That's a very good idea. How much rationale do you feel obligated to include in patch notes? I try to give a bit of a, I mean, on beta I give a big spiel about, oh, this is because I feel this way, but obviously on Steam there's a limited text and I want to kind of condense it to be a bit more to the point. So I tried to be a bit more brief there, but in cases where there's a controversial change, I try to explain myself in a way that's like, yes, it's a nerf, but actually it's going to make you enjoy the game way more for this reason. And if they see my reasoning there, they will also approach it differently. They'll be more open to playing the game better or playing the game differently, knowing that it's designed with something in mind, rather than seeing just a big nerf number and nothing else.
Yes.
So I do try to give a bit of a spiel when there's reason for it, because they'll understand much better when they see that there's it's not just a blanket nerf for no reason. 9-bullet revolver personally pours himself a glass of wine and lights a candle whenever settling down to read a Noisestorm patch note or a patch novel. Yeah. That's the way to do it. And then, what's the ethos behind fully solo developing? Would you ever consider or benefit from hiring out multiple certain mundane tasks like
Game
fixing
Doctor.
collision boxes, tooltips, and other small, less creatively impactful tasks? That is asked a lot, and it would result in more stuff getting done faster for these things. But it truly is enjoyable to do every little thing. Like tiny prop that you see on the floor, the collision hitbox. It's so much fun. I enjoy it too much to say, hey, someone else come in here and do all this stuff. I'm busy working on it. I enjoy it all a lot. And I think that's, you know, if I had to sit down in a meeting and say, hey, tell me your progress, show me your thing, I just wouldn't enjoy working on games. I probably would stop. And the passion, the reason I'm doing this is because I love it. I really love it. And if I change to be like a manager, or even if I was doing coding and I had to manage people and see what they're doing, and I just wouldn't want to work on games. This is not for me. So it's just preference is the answer on that.
I love that, dude. It's your passion, right? Your passion to keep leveling up and growing. And that's what I keep saying. I'm realizing I'm in like this freak accident that I just really love what I do that anybody else would find boring as hell. And it just happens to maybe by accident be why I'm good at what I do, is that like I like get excited to do the boring shit, which is like analyze the market, find common denominators, level up every day. I had my business coach the other day say like, dude, you could stop where you are now and still have things to offer these devs for like at least the next 5, 6, 7 years. Would you agree? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, it would still be relevant. I'm like, yeah, right. Like eventually we get outdated, but at least for another. And she's like, yeah, but you still are just there every day trying to like find a new breakthrough and get excited about these breakthroughs. It's your passion that is making you great at it. Like you just keep wanting to go further. You don't even have to, right? And that's the same thing that I hear from you, is just like, we love it. We're just freak accident. And I think this is how whoever's best at what they do, they were born somewhere, something influenced them in their childhood, something, and they have this weird avenue where they just love and are obsessed with something, like something led there. And I think that's how people get like really good at whatever they are. Those people in the world that are like really diving into something, or they're just, it's like a weird concoction of freak accidents that happen through life, like coincidences, right? Or I don't know. It
that's
just
why
happens,
I like watching
right?
your streams, because you're just so clearly enjoying what you're doing and enthusiastic. It's not this fake facade of you're just enjoying this exact thing, and that's what you're meant to be doing. And that's, you know, for game dev, I think you have to, like, I'm ultra into it, and if you're not, it's just gonna mean you're gonna settle for less and probably make a worse game, in my opinion. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, there's a lot of people who just kind of like, yeah, I hate this game, I can't wait for it to be out so I can never touch it again. I just feel like with that attitude, how are you gonna make good stuff? You just have to love it, and there's no shortcut. There's like, everyone, you know, there's a lot of people like, oh, I want to make money making games, but
yeah,
go in with that mindset, you're probably not gonna make the right decisions, because you're not thinking about the right things. You're thinking about, oh, this game released and made this much money, this game released and made this much money, so I should do the same things and it'll make this much money. But really, people will see the passion and the decisions you make over the thousands of hours of playtesting you do, and the constant changes. They all do add up. You eventually make it you're making these little tiny tapping changes to the sculpture, but eventually it will get somewhere good if you're consistently working on it. And that's the thing I think is missing. Like, a lot of people are just, you know, you have it, you've got the spark, and I think to do something really well, you need that spark, and it's not for everyone. Everyone has their own thing, but yeah, that's
I think people hear that and like how, like in you as well, and how excited you get. Well, now, or maybe for the first time, because this is probably the first time seeing behind the scenes and seeing, you know, and the creator interact and talk around their work and just design and stuff. And it's, I mean, you could truly hear the passion for sure. It gets exciting, right? You almost get excited to talk about it, right? Because anytime you talk about something you're passionate about, this is why, like, you guys that play Magic the Gathering and you card nerds, when you go to a meetup, you're surrounded by people that are in love with what you love as well. And that's why we get so excited. Or when you go to a con or Comic-Con, right? There is a phenomenon where, like, when you surround yourself with other people that love what you do, it amplifies it almost. And I think it's the same thing here. It's like, that's why you get so excited about it, especially in a time where we're all sharing that love, if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
I love that. I love it. I think that's so freaking cool. I think that's why I started streaming, is just to surround myself with more people that love what I do, because I don't have that, like, IRL. So it's like, yes, you know? We get to nerd out.
Yeah, dude. I could spend days. Like, my favorite thing when I finish like a hard week of, like, sometimes I cram, and like, this last week's been just release updates every single day, and then when this update comes out, I'm looking forward to like a week or 5 days of like playing every new roguelike and playing every new demo and just like, seeing what they're doing and catching up on games I missed and updates, and that's just so much fun. And
give us
I think you're the same, right?
You're most excited to play right now. Do you have anything on your list? Give us what is the Noisestorm list of games you're excited to try?
I'm looking, listen, Comic Rave, I'm looking forward to PoE, the PoE update. I think I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. Yeah, okay. I'm interested to see what they do. I think they're gonna make big changes. I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's gonna be some big endgame changes, but Looking forward to that. What else? Obviously, Slay the Spire 2, big on my list for. It's gonna be great. There's there's so many. I can't even think of right now.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot.
You know, they all just creep up, and then suddenly there's like 5 banger releases in one week, and you just get to enjoy them all. But there's also a lot of just new games coming out, like new roguelikes from new devs. So just, I'm sure you know better than anyone, but the market is getting increasingly saturated with new stuff. So I have been a lot more picky with what I try now, because if it's a Vampire Survivors clone, it's probably going to be the same experience, and I don't want to spend 30 minutes to unlock medium difficulty.
Yeah,
so I've been skipping on that kind of stuff, but
Same.
there's still a lot of cool games coming out, and I love that, just sitting down and like, all right, time to game, and just the nerd just gets to go out and try all this stuff. And
so you still get excited about that?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, dude. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this, you know?
Yeah. Maybe that's what gives you this kind of, because I see a lot of like common denominator of like things that I learned, but like how you talk about like the work and what's important and stuff. And I wonder if that's part of it, is that like, if you really digest video games and stuff and don't just get into the business aspect, you're like, I just love gaming and stuff. I do feel like naturally they have like they're gonna make better products because they get it, right? Like they're a gamer first. That's why, like, you would think that would always be the case, but it's not, right? That's like every business is like, it doesn't mean they love that product. It's maybe they just love the business of it. Where it's like, you always see that like gamers make better games, right? Because they get it, I guess, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And I think the bigger the companies seem to be, it feels like a lot less people who are actually playing games are making games, and then you come out with these also it's, you know, I don't know anything about the business strategies, but a lot of stuff comes from the high ups who obviously want money, so decisions are going to be made to water down or make certain games that would have been really cool a lot less cool. That's why I think indies it's kind of happening everywhere, where the super big budget stuff is surviving, and all the middle range stuff is kind of not, because it's pricing itself out, or it's really hard to grab people. But then the indies, the bottom end, are getting all the kind of interesting ideas, and it's like this. I just find there's so much creative talent in the indie scene at the moment, and it's really inspiring to just jump on Steam and see what people are making. There is a lot of derivative stuff too, but I think that's just because game development is becoming so much more accessible that anyone can download, which is great. I think it's just like what happened with music when I was getting into it, where the software was, anyone could run it on their PCs and they could just start making music. Same is happening more and more with games, and it's really cool to see all these cool ideas. And then, you know, now there's these diamonds that are coming out every now and then, like Rotato or whatever. That's just really just next level stuff. And that's just, you were working on that, right?
Yeah. He actually was a big fan before the Game Doctor, right? Like when I was just doing stuff and kind of interacting in that way, and started becoming like, wait, there's pillars here. And so he learned a lot early on when he first launched of like, wait, I'm doing a lot of like stupid shit. Like early on, like when Potato first launched, there was like a lot of like bad design, right? Like Ascension 1 was like, lower all the money you get, and it was like lower drafting choices, and it was like, and then he heard like I kind of coached him through it. I'm like, well, you're falling in this trap where if you zoom out, you'll realize your hard mode is making what's great about your game diminish, and you want your hard modes to actually get bigger. You want it to make more interesting, not less. And actually, me saying this should just make you instantly think about so many games. We do this all the time, is our hard modes go like this. And so once he had that conversation, I think it was like 3 weeks later, he came out with a whole new, closer to what it is today. And then you can see how he put information in the game, like all that stuff. So yeah, a lot of the work we talk about here, he ended up impacting Rotated to become what it was. Not to take any credit, this dude has been making phenomenal games. He just needed help shaping it. And so once he broke free of that, like the difficulty trap and a lot of the traps, right? A lot of times it's like, dude, you're already great. It's just like, let's just get some of the traps out of your way. And then he blew up. Right now he's but he was always making great stuff. He just had like traps in his way, and then it finally right game at the right time, right? And I think that's the thing, right? It's not, especially my work, it's not because like, oh my god, you suck and you need to level up. It's like, no, you're great, and let's just get this crap out of your way, right? Like, let's let you really go, right? And I think that's a lot of times what it is. And when you talk about it, you can see it's like, oh my god, wait, that makes so much sense. Why am I doing it this way, right? It's always there. They just had something in their way that they couldn't see it, is usually what it is.
Yeah, because you're too close. Like you always say, you're too close to it.
Too close.
I'm actively trying to train myself to play like someone else, and it is hard to, it is hard to do it, but I'm trying to get more like, okay, I'm going to make a dumb choice here and see how it feels, or, you know, I'm going to play a certain way. And it's fun for me just as you know, I just love trying all these different things to see how it feels, because you can obviously if you know everything about the game, you're going to play a very specific narrow-minded way. You know all the little tricks. If you don't know the tricks, how does it feel? And that kind of stuff is fun. But obviously,
Dude,
you know,
I think that's
I'm doing
so
the
important.
I'm doing the like long route where I'm kind of spending a lot of time on every little misstep, and it's enjoyable for me because that's, you know, as I said, it's the fun part. If I was just getting to the end, you know, I would definitely be wanting a faster way to get through it. But for me, the little journey, like the little, why is this bad? Why is more shop? Like I had a really expensive shops thing, and I think expensive shops is an interesting one because it's like, if you have the you know, the easy experience should be a crazy powerful experience, and if you just have expensive shops all the time, you're gonna end up having people annoyed because they're not gonna be able to buy anything. But then if you make the jump for expensive shops too much, like I do have a modifier for it, it was like 100%, then it's just unfun because you're like, oh, I used to enjoy the game so much more when it was cheaper, and now this modifier feels like it's just limiting my fun. And that is a fun kind of balance to me, because you do have to put some kind of challenge in there, but also like I enjoy the challenge of having to make it work with less money, but in a way that's not going to cripple the economy and make it just boring and feel like you've no choice and everything is just a dead run. So putting yourself in the shoes of a player who's going to be getting that is interesting, but it's one of those things I enjoy doing it.
Dude, I almost want to write that down. What you said is like really trying to do the work to like feel like a new player again, and then you play and like make wrong choices and stuff like that. And it's like, I think we forget over time, especially because we wrap ourselves around our most loyal players, which happen to be our best players usually in development. Right. So we're getting this very skewed, like a lot of times they come to me and I'm like, bro, I stopped the dev and I'm like, listen, I love that your players, you have great players, and you know, but all these conversations you keep bringing up, well, my best players say this. I don't care what your best players have to say. I stop them, they go, oh wait, that's interesting. Like, no one ever told me to shut up about my best players before. And I'm like, yeah, that's not important. That's not what we're talking about. I don't care about your 10%ers, right? Like, I don't care about your 5%ers. We need to lock in here. Let's talk about in reality, normal, right? And a lot of times even that is like, oh wait, I've never done this before, right? They're so used to it. And I get it. It's like, you want to talk about your biggest fans and this and that, but I need to stop them right there because it's already getting us a skewed vision point already. Right? We didn't even leave the gate yet. We didn't leave the garage yet. And we have the skewed vision point. No, let's stop. Let's not leave from there. Let's not leave the garage yet from that viewpoint. Exactly. Right?
And dude, that's why I enjoyed your stream recently so much, because you are one of the... It's so... Okay, streams are great, but when people who play the game all the time stream, they make it look so easy and it's so simple and they make the best choices. Again, the same problem. But when you came back, it's probably been, I'd say, a year or so since you played. So you are a good player. You know these kind of games, but you haven't played in a while. So getting to see that and what's that reaction is really valuable, because it's something you just can't really imagine yourself by just taking the wrong choices. Because you were making some choices out of, oh, I wouldn't take that, but you don't know that. And that's the magic of it. You're seeing how people would actually play, not just the ideal, here's exactly how everyone plays because they're the best players. And that's why I do have to be careful when I'm balancing stuff, that I'm not listening too much to the beta channel is great, but everyone is quite good. Like, I'm not, they're way better than me, and still there's some demand for like more challenge or different stuff. So I have to kind of take everything with grains of salt and try and make the right call in between. Like, you know, and also multiplayer, dude. I would advise anyone making games to, multiplayer is great, but it does add this layer of like, okay, in 3-player mode, this guy is really weak, or, you know, this situation happens a lot, and then you have to think about that when you're balancing solo, and then there's a lot of weird, quirky situations that just kind of arise from just every possible scenario has so many permutations in a roguelike, and then having multiplayer on top of that, and difficulties, and different types of players, and returning players, and so it's just funny to see. But anyway, the stream watching you come back was so cool, because I could see all the new stuff, and you kind of figuring stuff out after a year of not playing, whatever. So which is really cool. So.
You hear that, chat? Multiplayer is not easy. It's not just like a button. And from what I'm hearing, being solo, it's like, well, now it's like a plethora of like new problems that you have to worry about, and increased development time, right? It's like,
in Unreal, it is a button in a lot of instances, but it's not the it's not the button that's the problem. It's the realities. You have to put yourself, okay, in player B's reality, why is he not seeing a chest, or, you know, something like that. These kind of problems happen all the time, and it's that's where stuff goes crazy. And like, hey, this guy, you know, this enemy is acting differently on this player's screen, or these events aren't happening in the correct order, or this guy's UI is all messed up, or, you know, all this stuff happens, and it's just it's a headache. But I do think multiplayer is great, and I think I would keep it for sure, because it's, a lot of people play this game just really casually with their friends, and they wouldn't have played it if they couldn't have, you know, just invited their friends. They would have played something else. So it's definitely a very valuable, but it does add this. Oh, I'm watching this run. Ooh.
I don't know how to survive.
Oh. Oh, you got it?
Oh.
The two elites really ramp it up. So, oh no. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, dude, I'm a Katana fan. I love that it is
Hell
like
yeah.
it's like encouraging me to like go in and like do cool stuff that
Hell
I
yeah.
normally wouldn't.
You know what was funny? Earlier you were saying I was watching a little bit before I was having my lunch before
Yeah.
this, and we were watching the a little bit of the run you did before. You were saying you'd wish you could hit the barrels and kick them around. So the hammer is meant to like blow everything up but be really strong. But if you use the claw or the dagger, you can like tap stuff around so it won't damage the barrels, and you can like knock them into your enemies. And same with like the landmines and stuff. You can they're kind of weaker, but they've more utility. And then the katana is just this kind of has a movement quirk to it. So I'm trying to add these kind of little quirks to everything to make it a bit more, you know, experienced players will then have these little skill level ups. So like, oh, you know, I can do this particular thing with this gun, and
I
yeah,
never even knew that. I'm gonna try that out. So you can like punch it into somebody?
You can like line it up so that you knock. I do it all like yeah, exactly, and then boom, and blow it up at the right time.
I wonder if I can hit it downward so it doesn't get it like a lob. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Dude, what's up with shields? Give me the idea behind shield. I was talking about that earlier. I still to this day cannot figure out the purpose. What's going on?
They need a big rework for sure, but the main thing is they aren't one hit. They are they will 15% of your health bar, which I need to write down and it's not in the description. It's a terrible thing, but basically they do absorb more. So if you have a crazy tanky build, you can take a lot of hits on one shield and it protects you from a lot of stuff as well. It's like written on it. And for combo builds, which I actually tried to run yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about combo. I just feel like I don't pay attention to it.
Also
I don't
under
feel
bait.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a kind of holdover from when the game was super don't get hit, don't take damage, and then get rewarded for it. But there's still room for that kind of playstyle, which is kind of fun. I just need to revamp. Basically, I'm thinking armor is going to be kind of merged into like a shield system where there's like a regenerating shield and there'll be perks around that. And while the shield is up, you get benefits, but there's a delay before it comes back. There's a lot of cool stuff to try there. And then the combo can be protected by that shield, so you can be building your combo. So as long as you don't get hit while your shield is off, you will keep your combo. And that's a more fun way of doing it, where I just don't get hit at all or else you lose it.
Right.
So
that sounds really interesting, actually.
I think that's the biggest frustration when I watch anyone play is like, my to-do list is literally like hundreds of pages long, and there's so many things in it, big and small, and I wish I could just do the things, because there's a lot of interesting stuff to try out, but there's a point, and I think you run into this all the time, I'm sure, like where a game is clearly missing something, and you wonder if it's a blind spot or if it's just the dev just didn't put it in yet. And it's frustrating to not have everything as you wanted, but it's a reality. You're just not going to release your game if you don't. Like, you can be really limited scope, and you can definitely achieve a lot, but I think there's in a game like this, and I've seen it a lot of the time, I'd rather a scuffed game with half-working stuff and a lot of content than a perfectly pristine, polished game with like 5 pickups, so every run is exactly the same. And I'm building to try and do this true early access where, you know, where there's going to be stuff missing. There's going to be clearly a lot of, okay, this shouldn't work this way, or why didn't he add this, or why, you know, but it's more enjoyable because there's so much variety in the loot that at least you get to have like 20 different, you know, everyone's a new experience, but you do have more of that feeling when you have a lot of content that's scuffed compared to having like 5 really beautiful, but that's it. You can see those 5 things every single time and you're not going to play again. So
100%.
Sorry, ranting away.
No, I noticed, to piggyback off it again, what I've noticed is I feel a lot more comfortable when I play early access games and they already pre-acknowledge they're like, I know it's not a blind spot because they pre-acknowledge that it's not what they want yet. And I've noticed like in this auto battler I played a while ago, solo dev, it did really well, but I noticed they use tricks like, hey, see these damage bars and stuff, I am acknowledging that it's not good. Right, like, this is all going to be changed, and they like literally says like, this is filler for now. And so the player also knows, yeah, okay, cool, because I know it's not good, but they're acknowledging it. Oh yeah, cool, yeah, no, yeah, but we all agree, right? And like, so I also noticed there's a lot of power in being ahead and just vocalizing, hey, this part's gonna change. We know it sucks. And then they're like, oh, cool, right? I'm not crazy. I don't have to go argue on a Steam forum or anything. Like, no, they know too, right?
Because how are they meant to know if you're gonna change something? Like it's not if it's not mentioned, they're probably just not gonna know. So I've tried to do it for some things, like in the shop is the
dude,
number one question is when is Tony coming alive?
Did you see?
I saw on your stream, and like
I'm in a whole new pillar about it. Of like, notice how he acknowledges that this will change, and so everyone's cool with it. It's like, oh yeah, we know, but that also takes accountability, and people don't want to do that. They're just like, I don't know. We'll see what we get to based on how much money we make, and we're just gonna get whatever we can get away with, right?
Yeah, or it's the roadmap thing where it's like, sorry, this is exactly what we're doing, or there's a lot of things, and I just think being super flexible and having room to being both kind of loose, as in the content isn't finalized, but there's loads of ideas there, is more interesting than the content is finalized, but you're stuck in this linear, narrow game, and all future updates have to kind of work around it because it's already finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This, I think early access should be way more like loose and like, yes, it's gonna have issues, it's gonna be a bit scuffed, there's gonna be balance, crazy stuff, but you can probably cook more, you can probably do cool stuff, you can, experiment, and that's the joy of these kind of games. When I play like a Vampire Survivors clone where there's like 5 different weapons, okay, is there a reason to play twice, or is it just meta from here on out? And that's kind of the bane of the industry at the moment, I feel like.
That is the bane of the industry. It drives me up the wall. I think I wouldn't care as much if the roguelike genre wasn't my favorite genre from like 15 to 20 years ago, and then seeing what it become today just makes me really sad and a bit of a hater. I totally realize I come off that way sometimes, where it's like, dude, is he just hate? And it's like, no, I'll explain, like, dude, it used to be about replayability, and like these things are saying infinite replayability, but they have like 0, and it's like, wait, what is happening here? I know I'm not crazy,
Well, I think there's so many cool games coming out that offset that. Like,
yes, I
Noita being a perfect example of just, everyone really does feel a bit different because there's so much wacky systems going on. And I love that. But there's like a world and you're just there in it, and you can make stuff happen based on your knowledge of it. And I want Crabs to go more in that direction where like you're going to scan the island and see all these like, rocks scattered around, and that if you set them off in a certain order, you're going to have a better, stuff like this is really cool. And then you different enemies that actually make a difference to the world, not just enemy A, but reskin to be the same. So
yeah, your
the more you go into
identity
that
for your
direction,
enemies
the
have been
more
leveling up, man. Like the
they're
bees and
still
stuff
way
I've
off.
been
I
seeing
need
for
to.
the first time. Yeah.
No, it's all terrible. But I'm basically planning on, after this release, pausing and being like, okay, let's make things nice. Let's design the enemies. Let's give them telegraphs. Let's give them visual cues, and pause. On
you know
stuff
what?
for a little bit,
That's gonna feel. Everyone's gonna be like, what the hell happened to this update? It just feels so much better. They're just gonna. It's gonna feel amazing.
No new content? What?
Yeah. No new content. No, they're gonna
that's why I'm planning on doing those mini ones, like the randomizer, the Tony update.
Yeah, tell us about that, dude.
I'm
really excited for that.
Yeah, so like you, I love when there's a way to start a run in an interesting way, especially when you can streak on random, like out of your control ways to start the game. So I'm gonna try and do a system where there's like a wheel of fortune that like some 9bullet in the community used to do runs every day, where he would use like an online wheel of
randomizer
wheel
thing.
Of names. Yeah, and he would roll them, and it was just so cool to see that happen before each run, and the clapping, and then you're in that run with that thing that was out of your control. So I'm gonna add that as just a kind of side mode, because you're adding so much value and content for no real, like a small bit of effort to make the visuals and all, but you're just giving content that's already in the game to the player in a random way, and then tracking the streak. I think that could be really cool to give.
It's the roguelike way. It's the roguelike way.
Yeah, and people want more to do. Like, that's my #1 complaint. Like, okay, I've diamonded everything. What do I do now? I guess I'm just gonna not play. So while I don't want to introduce any like artificial grind for no reason, I think there's value to just having a reason for people who want to play the game to keep playing it in a way that isn't grind this meta tree, which is just terrible. In a way that's more like achievements, and you get some cool.
I long for the wheel, dude. Me too. I think any game that I actually complain nonstop now, where if they're just giving me like choices in the beginning of the run, like more of a sandbox, but calling it a roguelike, I get really annoyed. I'm like, no, give me the problem and I will solve it, right? Like, that's why I'm so excited that you're gonna work on it, because I think that's actually a huge deal, right? Like, I would also even argue that you give them 2 random starting perks or something like that. You probably thought about that already, but give them some kind of initiative. I give them identity. Don't just give them a weapon and a melee. Give them like 2 perks that they're now gonna work in, right, or something.
I was thinking like the random world modifier. So these new modifiers that'll make weird stuff happen for a biome, like low gravity for this biome or something. Like I was telling you before, like the key totem where you can get a free item every single run. I kind of regret that decision, because it starts the balance very differently depending on what you get, and it makes people want to always start with like a legendary piece of loot, which breezes through the first biome.
Yes.
But at this point, it is one of those things that I feel like I really can't go back on, because it's too kind of, everyone does it every single run, and if it's suddenly gone, it's going to be a big pain point. So that's something I'm gonna have to think about.
I think 2 like random common perks would do you some wonders. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like a few slot machines in this like Island 0.
Yes.
Yeah, and then like you can roll them a few times and then pick whatever ones you want, and then the wheel rolls and you can it's gonna be cool. I'm excited for that. But that's kind of stuff that I'm gonna sprinkle in between because I have like hundreds of icons and unique visuals to do. So at least there'll be some kind of fun features sprinkled in as these things get fixed up, because it's just been in placeholder everything mode for like since it came out, and I'm sick of all the stuff being like even the island designs are just kind of plonked down assets. There's no real flow to a lot of them, and I really want to just think about it.
God damn, so you got a lot that you want.
I have a lot to do. This is early days, but I love it, which is the main point. So I'm happy to do it. It's just I worry that there's the lack of new content is going to be a problem, but I'm just going to try and work faster and get these kind of side modes in and see what goes. Ooh, look at that pumpkin. Pretty cool.
I mean, you just get to focus on the things you love at this point in life, period, right? Like you have the winning build for life in general now, right? Like I would imagine like you're just good.
I'm just happy that people like the game in this scuffed state, because I was planning on delaying it again. I delayed it so many times, but like I said before, it was the right call to put it out.
Yeah.
Even in a scuffed state. So then because then you get the motivation to keep going, and people click with it even if it's rough. Because there's a million things. Like I play every day and I write down like 20 new things that should be changed or improved, and then that list gets crazy long. And then you're like, okay, well, this is horribly overwhelming. I have like 20,000 things on this list that needs to be not need to be, but should be investigated. And that just feels horrible. So if you have these little updates, and especially the betas are great to kind of get this motivation in between the long marathons of adding stuff, because you could be in that loop forever. You can find something wrong with something every day of the week, and it's never going to end. So you have to kind of call it and then prioritize on
after
what
that
you want to do. But luckily, I'm in the position where I can just kind of do that for the time being. And I believe if I keep doing it, it's going to keep meaning that people play the game. So it's kind of a nice win-win. Just stay focused and keep doing, like, they always say about writers, like, write like 1 page a day at least, and then you'll make something great over a long period of time.
Dude, I freaking love that. What the hell? Dude, I found myself playing so different today, and it's like really fun.
Dude, that's
like,
I actually was so happy to see it click with you. You were, I believe the last time you played, it was like fine, like you won pretty easily again, but like this time you're thinking about everything, you're deciding, you're thinking about way more things, and that's exactly what I was hoping for this build, where people would actually consider more than just I need damage, I win. Everything isn't just falling over. You're actually getting scared when you get low health. You have to think about your economy a bit more. The economy one is a touchy one, because that's what I've been kind of I've been nerfing the shop prices a bit to try and make that feel more rewarding to kind of build into. But at the same time, it is nice to buy a few things and be able to naturally afford like 3 things. So that's where I'm currently at. 10 days before this release, I should probably.
I will say,
I think it's a pretty good point now.
I think it's compounding, right? The wanting to go in and stuff like that is going back to like the enemy things you were talking about, and like making them, the more chaos they are, and the more not like tells that are hard to see and things like that. Even like sometimes when I'm getting shot and the bullet's coming straight at me, I can't see it, right? Like I literally can't. So that's compounding, and that's making people want to stay away. They're actually all like, they're all coming together, right? And so I think that's why I think like your enemy rework and like identity, being able to see like the grenaders and they have a tell, or all of that stuff is going to let people feel more comfortable to engage differently. Where even for me, if I wasn't who I am, I like going for the style points and engaging. That's just who I am. So even if it's not like good or it's making me die more, it's fun. And so, you know what I mean? I'll force myself there, but I can tell that like if I wasn't who I am, like it feels wrong to do it. It does, but that's because of the identity and how things are collapsing, right? If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, like say for example the starfish enemy now, he feels great because he screams and he jumps up, and then you're kind of expecting him. Whereas if he was just a silent thing with no tell, you just feel so cheaply damaged by that.
Yes. Yeah.
And one other thing is like, I noticed in your first playthrough like a week ago, you got that money thing where you got so much money, and then you slipped out of that balance of, instead of being in this nice mix of everything matters, you kind of just had so much money you didn't even need to spend all of it in the shop. You were just that powerful, and then you just okay, I'll just melt the boss in 1 second. That if you let the player escape that too early, it's fun to escape that in the late game when you're just, if you want to go on a crazy build, but trying to keep the player into that magic space of everything matters. I'm worrying about health and damage and economy. If I can keep the player there for most of a up until the volcanic, that's my job complete. And this is what this subject's been trying to do. And I know, Good.
I think you want to keep them there like on average. I wouldn't say like you want to make every right, and I think you realize that too. But yeah.
No, like the shops are natural spikes, which is fun because then you're a little bit more powerful, and then it starts to creep back. Like I noticed you were like, oh, this is, it's so easy, and then wait, these guys are hitting a bit harder now, or wait, it's like the game's catching up. And it has to be a bit more not linear, like always feeling, because that's tense and horrible, and no one wants to feel out of control like for the whole time. So, but yeah, no, it's a fun balance, and I'm still trying to meet that
Dude,
for
it's
the
going
money
such a
taking
good
shot, but-
direction. I keep telling chat, I'm like, dude, it keeps getting better and better every time I play. Like you're going in like all the things you're shooting for and stuff. So I know that it's just gonna get like more and more insane, like in such a good way, like a smart way.
That's so good to hear. Hell yeah. Ruby's just asking in chat, and he knows to talk about PoE 2 so I can judge his character. Okay.
Oh,
Full
here you
disclosure,
go.
I've only played PoE 1 once before, and I only leveled one character. And then PoE 2, my friend was, oh no.
Bro, they're
Yeah,
working.
those Dole elites, I'm telling you, they really gang up. I like to see that though. They're my my AI are working out.
Oh, it's working.
So anyway, I only played PoE 1 once, and PoE 2 I played through the full. Like everyone was hyping it up. It's this big generational, thing. So I played it, and obviously, the scope of it, the amount of stuff, and I really enjoyed it. I did think the end game needs a lot of work, so I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with that in the upcoming update. So that's why I'm excited for it, because I want to see how much is going to change. And if it's not going to be much, then come back to it in like a year or so. But I'm like you, I did you play? I'm sure you played PoE 2. Did you?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I had a lot to say. It's as always, right? It's not black and white. I think it felt really good, but I think it divulged into Path of Exile 1. Like it's just like, okay, how do I make my numbers go up? How do I kill? I don't care about any enemies. If you look at late game Path of Exile, it's just people running through maps again, so everything divulged into Path of Exile 1, and it's kind of like what I saw coming. And I also don't think I had a lot of build diversity. It felt very like, instead of shooting one, I could shoot two. Like I didn't feel like I was cooking at all. That's how it felt for me. It felt good though. The game, like visually and impactfully, like felt really good, but it felt very on rails for me.
I would like to see more cool, interesting ways to customize like your. I felt like a lot of this is the way it's meant to be kind of thing, but
yeah,
but anyway,
that's how it felt for me.
There's a lot of but I was new to it. When I played Tiny Rogues, I had never played an ARPG, so I was like, "What's int?" Like I really had no idea like any RPG terms or anything like that. So it's kind of like now I've played PoE, I can kind of see some of the kind of influence, and it's kind of cool to see it distilled into a roguelike format. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that wasn't always that way. That was one of the things we worked in. I'm like, Ruby, you have a big love for like action RPGs. We can like incorporate that, right? He's like, nah. Next day he wakes up, he's like, oh my god, let's do it. I could see it. And that's like when the relationship began. It was so funny. Like he was like, I'm gonna try out your work. I'm not buying it though. I don't get it. And I'm like, all right, don't worry. Let's do it. And then I'm like, yeah, it's so funny. Because at one point I remember him being in my chat. I always love to tell this story. And he was like, bro, like you don't get it, man. Games just work this way, and I get you. What you're saying has to be, you don't get it. And I'm like, Ruby, it's fine, man. When you're a believer, when I make you a believer, you're gonna be my biggest billboard. Fast forward like a year later, and he's like, get it, higher SD. I'm like, dude, yeah. It's like, it's okay, man. It's okay. But dude, that is so cool. So you play Tiny Rogues, okay?
Oh yeah, dude, it's a great game.
Huh.
Probably one of the best indie roguelikes in recent years, I would say. Really good.
Yeah, let's go. Ruby killed it. He's like you though, like how you talk about design and how you can see it and impact, and not getting wavered by like certain types of feedback, because that's just gonna happen. It's not their fault. It doesn't mean they're doing something bad, but like you need to understand that like that's just something that's gonna happen. You need to do with like what's right, like all those kind of like, I don't know, like design morals, I guess, or game design fundamentals and stuff. I believe is really important, and I believe, I don't know, maybe that's part of like, because you naturally have that instinct too. Maybe that's part of why your game is so successful in general, let alone also just being very easy to like look at it and be like, oh cool, I want to try that, I get it, right? Like, and I feel like it's the same with like your video too. You look at it and it's just very easy to love. It caters to a lot of people, and it's just very easy to understand. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a level of approachability you want to have when you're designing anything. But yeah, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's, if you really like something, you're gonna make something good eventually. I think that's the takeaway. Your passion will eventually come up with some gold. I'll just catch up with chat just as a few.
Yeah, I think you got a million questions again. I'm sorry.
They said, how do you deal with changes you're not sure about? Do you have some people who can do some testing and give their feedback? So what I do is I just do an open beta for open as in people who own the game can try it. I do that for a few months before each release, so that by the time the release comes, I'm pretty confident that most major complaints have been, addressed. Like, and I said before, they will come in and naturally people who enjoy the game want to see the new stuff, and then they'll naturally voice stuff they don't like. And then I have to kind of be like, okay, is this person... you do have to do a kind of detective game where you're like, okay, let's see who this person is. And, you have to kind of know your audience and know who's saying the things, because you can be misled otherwise by some people who want it the way it was before, even though you know it's right. So you have to kind of make a call at the end of the day, but it's great to have that kind of period of time where people are all playing. And generally, the very bad things will get called out very quickly, and you'll have a good idea generally where to steer the ship. But it's not a good idea to kind of let one person sway your opinion too much. So I've tried to keep it general and keep my vision of the update solid as well, while trying stuff out. And it's always fun. I love just trying big changes out, and then everyone hates it. And I'm like, okay, I'll put it back. But for that day, there's some busted economy or some crazy change, and that to me is the fun of early access. You can really go wild and try different mad stuff out, and not be worried that your entire user base is going to hate you after a day. How much testing do you do before deciding something isn't working? Usually, you can tell very fast. Usually, I play a run or two, and you'll get there. It's harder to say with stuff that takes a whole run to get to, because you have to play multiple whole runs, and that can be a bit annoying. But generally, pretty quick. Like usually within 24 hours, I'll have made another beta patch that fixes the thing or adjusts the value to make it feel better, and that's just to often overshoot, then go back. I prefer to overshoot, take it back, rather than try and just do a small bump that doesn't actually end up changing much, and then that's just kind of a waste of time. You can't really notice it. You can't really feel the difference.
They're probably loving this so much because you realize a lot of devs would kill to be in your, like, that's their dream, is like to be in your spot. So they're probably loving this right now.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help, any question, not that I have any status here. I feel like an imposter. I'm just
right.
If there's any if there's any questions or anything I can help with for devs, I'm always happy to. But I think more
what he's saying is don't be shy,
okay.
y'all. Don't be shy. Yo, Agent, thank you so much.
9 Bullet says I should bring back. Yeah, so there's
that?
another
Yeah,
difficulty above this one called Ultra Chaos, where unlimited amounts of any enemy can spawn. Like, well, not unlimited, but any enemy can spawn on any island. So bosses can spawn on island 1, potentially. And I made a limit to make only like 6 huge bosses spawn per island, because people were a bit, they had a bad roll where there's like 20 final bosses on island 3. But
holy
that's
hell!
what he's looking for. Bring back 12 King Skulls on one island, please.
He's like, let's
that's
do
the fun
it.
one. That mode is for people who are like, okay, give me the most ridiculous, unfair mode of this game possible. So I said, okay, everything turns up to 100. You have to collect crystals off the floor. You have to, way harder enemies, way more. Everything is really unfair. But that's, some people enjoy that kind of crazy challenge.
Yeah.
I do on other games. So it's like a bonus thing once you get to Ruby rank.
Ruby rank hype.
What are you now? You're
How do I increase the rank? Is it just winning runs?
so depending on how many modifiers you have when you get a win, it gives you a rank on that gun, and then your account rank is an average of your gun ranks. So it's a bit confusing, but it's basically just a way to incentivize mastering each gun and being able to win on the highest difficulty with it.
Ooh,
so
I like
Ruby
that.
is takes a while, but then you get that nice extra difficulty unlock. And
Yeah.
Ruby has a question too. How do you work with community feedback so closely while knowing that you already have 100 pages of notes ahead of you? For me, the more plans I have, the less community feedback aligns with things I want to touch.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really valid point, and I think the only way I've solved it is prioritizing stuff that matters now and stuff that matters in 3 months. So I have 2 big lists, and I've sectioned off the list, so I quickly take like a screenshot or a text piece of something that I know is, it's a good idea, but right now it's not important. I know it would take me a whole day. Stuff like, the descriptions right here on the pickups are different to the descriptions in the inventory. And that seems like, oh, well, why don't you just use the same inventory UI for both? But actually, it's a big job because I have to now rewrite how all that works. I have to calculate it on the fly in the chest instead of outside the inventory. So I know that's important, but it goes in my distant future box. And then I have like this super important. So I just prioritize the super important stuff and just do only those in order. And then by the time I'm running out of time for an update, I put anything that's in the important but not ultra important box and move it into a next update pile. And the pile just keeps growing. So there is a gigantic pile, but I do feel like it's really good to just keep skimming and finding those valuable things that people are saying. And often it's just a small tweak that makes something feel really good. So I'm trying to, I try to just spend like at least overall like 45 minutes a day, just in small segments, just scanning and picking up little bits of feedback. And I do think it's good, but you do have to take everything with a grain of salt and be like, is this the right call? Is this just a frustration or whatever, a reaction to a recent change or something? So it's one of those things.
I love that. I love that. That's such a powerful question, because like you can tell that that's like, I call those good problems, where like you could tell that you're in the thick of it and you're going through it and you're doing something. To even have that kind of question is like you had to have been through it, right? Like, and it's like it means you're out there doing something. It's so cool. I feel like it's a really powerful question. That's cool.
It's funny because now when I'm playing some other roguelike and I'm like, where are the devs? But it's normal, right? Most most games you're locked away for 3 months. Here's our update. See you in 3 months. But it's just it's funny because it's really not that much extra time to be in there and picking out the bits and talking to people, and and I just like it so much that I'm enjoying talking to everyone and seeing what they're doing every day. But I guess I understand why some devs distance themselves and they don't want to be there. But I think it's the right call to be kind of just chatting and being part of the community. But yeah, it's preference, I suppose.
Yeah, how does that work out for you? Because I know Ruby, it's funny because you actually both are very like you said, you interact, you're out there, you're kind of like, you're exposed to the elements. You're not like hidden. You have a very direct line because of the way you interact and stuff. But it also seems like maybe that your community trusts you more, maybe, to make decisions and change things, where they have that trust in you because you're not some ghost doing things and pulling strings. That like he's this guy right here. It's like relatable. And so maybe I'm noticing that there's like a different culture maybe to that, where they give you more allowance and trust. Maybe, I don't know.
I think it's really healthy because they kind of know me now, and it's less like talking to a faceless brick wall, where hopefully if we shout enough,
another client
and more
geeky. Sorry.
And it's more like a discussion, like, let's float this, and why is this done this way? And they'll know I'll come back and explain myself. But obviously there's a balance there. I don't want to spend my whole day in Discord talking, but there's a lot of time between compiles where it takes like 60 seconds to open the editor between a change. So I then check in and just catch up. And if you kind of skim it down to those essential bits, you can kind of get a lot out of it.
Dude, I think you guys are onto something, actually. I'm noticing that there is literally a cultural difference if you're interacting with the community and you're like one of them. It's like the same thing of like, I don't know where this goes. Like, it's a thought process and I don't know where this lands, but it's like trusting, like hiring somebody to watch your child, right? Like a babysitter. But it's different if you like hired them online, you don't know who they are, or like you know them, they're a friend, you've hung out with them before, right? Where it's like they bought this product and it's almost their baby, and to have somebody pulling strings, that it's behind the scenes and they're doing these changes and stuff, they're gonna be a lot more volatile and scared. Where they're like, hey, our friend here, this guy that we can easily go interact with, is like changing our baby and our product. They give a lot more like freedom to, in a way, right? Like, it's weird. They're like, oh, okay, cool, I can trust them. Let's, what I mean? If anything, we could just talk to him and he would probably change it back. Or like, what I mean? It's not like somebody imaginative is pulling the strings.
It's less hysteria when a thing is bad in the game because they know, okay, we can just voice it and he'll probably see it.
Yeah. So they almost give you more freedom, I feel. There's like a weird phenomenon, and I never thought about this thought strand until just now. So, and I love when this happens because it usually I usually can like soak, like, I keep ringing it out and I get like some kind of breakthrough with it that can then lead to other people's breakthroughs, and that's why this excites me. But I never thought about that. I think there's like a direct correlation there.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then, you kind of get stuff done better, especially if you're in a position like me or Ruby where there's fast iteration. I'm sure we can both put an update out tonight with a change that someone talked about this morning, whereas a company who has to have a meeting next Tuesday, and then actually let's push that meeting till Thursday, and then that change won't ever get in for like a month, and then maybe by that time people have moved on or something has changed. But when you can act quickly and stay flexible, I think that's a huge boom, because you can just talk to people. Oh, this build last night, it feels way too shop prices are terrible. Okay, I'll go play a run. Yes, you're actually right, it does feel terrible. Okay, I'll make a change. Boom, that night new update is out, they like it, they fixed it, there we go. And that feels way better than, in 3 months we're pleased to announce we're gonna maybe take some of your community feedback into account. And it just feels backwards to me now at this point, because I know how easy it can be when you really just listen to people and just do like you don't have to do everything what everyone says. Just listen to see what they're like. A lot of
Trying to
people will
say.
just say I hate this, and then you have to try and figure out, okay, why do they hate this?
Why do they
Is
hate
it really
it?
them or
Dude,
yeah?
you
And then
promised me you'll watch this morning's thing in your free time. Watch this morning's like
start of the stream.
Yeah, the start of the stream we go through like a random post on a game and like normal interaction with early accessors, but it talks about like what you're saying, how like you have like because then you'll hear my commentary on like digesting what they're actually saying to what they're saying and stuff, and you'll see how it gets so mistranslated and stuff. Just watch it. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Let's see the chat.
Oh.
Is it that you interact with the community all the time, or is it about being super transparent about changes that you're doing? I think both. Interact all the time and be transparent. If you're gonna hide sneaky stuff, it doesn't feel good, and if you're gonna be a ghost, it doesn't feel good either. So, oh, look at that barrel play.
Yo, you saw that? You saw that?
Yeah. Holy shit, that was great.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah. So I think just be open and show what you're doing and explain what you're doing and why you're doing it. Leave that little note in the patch notes. This is why. Yes, it's worse. Yes, it's a nerf, but it is for the right reason because of this. And people might grumble, oh, I liked it better before, but then
give the why.
That will die out.
I have a pillar for it.
Yeah.
Give the why.
Hell yeah. Thing. Talking with your community is fun. Once you notice you can actually help with the game, so why wouldn't you do it? Yeah. I mean, you simply, in a roguelike, when there's so much stuff that can change and every balance change you make can impact 10 other items, you kind of have to be letting the community play like hundreds of runs, and then they'll come back with these broken, weird synergies that you would have never found yourself. Like, it just, I don't have time to play 10, 1 hour runs every day, but people will want to if you're updating the game and there's this fresh synergy. If you're putting in an update, they're enjoying the changes, then generally it's crazy how fast some common, problems and issues will come, to light, and then like change next day, and do that 1,000 times, and I believe the product, the game, is going to be really fun, and everyone enjoys it because it's like, people say they like the beta updates because they're like a fresh new, version that they're never going to see again, but it's just this one day of this thing being really broken, and they get to enjoy that crazy build, and then that's gone, it's fixed, but it was enjoyable for that one day, and they bring it, they reference to some stupid overpowered thing that was the thing, and it's just kind of, it's really, really wholesome, and the community
like
builds
a culture.
around it, and people
like a private little culture.
It's so cool, dude. It's great. Hades 2. Perfect art, perfect sound, perfect presentation. Personally, my big gripe is any game where you fight a wave of 10 enemies and then 10 more enemies spawn that are the same 10 enemies, you fight them, and then 10 more enemies spawn, you fight them, and then you get a meta reward or something. That's just, for me, the pacing. I wish it was just get me stuff for my build now and let me fight just one big wave, or get me to the point. So that's my only gripe with them. But beautiful games, amazing graphics, and
super freaking beautiful.
You can't knock
one of the best, right? Actually, probably.
Absolute masterclass of visuals. Like, can't get better. Ruby Dev, I see that you mentioned Hades, but this is crap now.
They love that bot for some reason.
Yeah, I think we're caught up. Yeah, we're stuck on this run.
I don't know, dude. I guess, yeah, and then we get to the boss wave, and then it's double elite, and I get owned.
The double elites are really, yeah. Probably should have not made you turn them on.
Dude, I think the katana is my favorite weapon now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, this is how I die. Why would I run in here?
This is a ropey situation.
Why did I do that? Yeah, that was me. That was a bad idea.
Oh, survived it.
Okay, this guy should go. Okay. There's health. Should I go for it? Oh. Not by the wall, huh? Don't be by the wall. It's fine.
Oh, what a clutch.
It's fine.
Nice.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I, for one, don't mind QAing Crab Channel. Oh, is that another beta of that person? Yeah, make sure you're in the beta branch. What is Lobert?
Lobert.
Lobert.
So there's been this trend of asking to add Lobert to the game.
Okay, what is this?
But then I
Tell me.
it's a lobster, and I was gonna add him, but then I realized it's already a thing. Lobert is a character already, so I can't add him. No.
What do you mean he's a thing?
So, I'm sorry. Lobert is this like plushy guy. I don't know what he's from. Squishmallow. I don't know what's Squish. But anyway, everyone's been spamming Lobert.
Squishy Melon or whatever?
I don't know. But anyway, Lobert's been a common request for the last like 3 months. But oh, Ruby. Not gonna get me on that one.
Well, what is that? I'm not even gonna try not ask.
You can ask.
What is can you add DN? What is that? Ruby, what's DN? Lobert? Don't act like you guys know what Lobert is. My chat's like, oh, no Lobert. Like they know. like they've been wanting him. Don't even try it. No Lobert. How dare you? No Lobert. Now it's going to be a thing in my channel.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't go away. Trust me. Every patch note is emoted Lobert underneath. Yeah.
Lobert. Lobert. I'm thinking of like a lobster that uses his tails to like lob attacks into the air. That sounds kind of cool, actually.
That
actually sounds sick.
Oh, wait till quests get added to the game. Go up to Tony's Island before a run. You pick up some Tony's Claw. You have to deliver it to some guy in a loop-specific biome. Man, the game, there's so much potential for content. I just need to sit down and do it.
What the? Bro, this aggressive life is so stressful.
Maybe it's been too stressful. But I love to see it. It matters. You know, you're thinking about your healing.
Wow. Wait, that's why you told me that you're not walking into that? You knew?
Mm-hmm.
You.
Sorry. Had to do it. It's Ruby's fault. I didn't say anything.
You let me walk into it.
Has to be done. Everyone has the first time.
Everyone gets them all the first time. He let me walk into that. He said, go ahead and ask. How did you know? Usually I know his jokes.
He's asked another one.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, nice try. Nice try.
I'll get you. That's pretty funny.
Chat's so proud that you let me walk into that. All right, Chad, don't worry. Guess who you're stuck with after this date? You should have known because it was Ruby. Because he was asking real questions, and I walked in. I got one guide. Hit the XL until it breaks.
Yeah, hit the XL.
Are you? You're not
9
down.
bullet is right.
What? How okay.
That's a serious accusation.
That is.
I say listen to him.
How do what is my best odds for survival here? Bullseye, endurance, or scavenger upgrade?
Scavenger, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're signing me up to die here. Wait, hit it? I can multiple.
Well, it didn't break. Okay, it has a chance to break, but it doesn't always break. If you do this again, it's gonna be a.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Which one would you pick here?
Oh. Well,
dude, I've
if you pick the 2x, it's...
if I just pick elements and I just kill single target, it's like core.
Yeah, fire is way too busted. I need to fix fire. This is too strong. Because fire was really weak in like every build, so I buffed it, and then I made global damage effect fire, and now fire is just busted, so I need to take it back. Yeah, but so if you take that 2x portal, you will triple your 2x. Or no.
No, I'm not taking that. No. There's no healing.
Yeah, I would not take no healing. Yeah, I'll probably just go with your elemental. It's going to be a spicy one. It's also Island 5, which is the hardest island in the biome. So good luck. Oh, but this arena is not bad. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
It's a few harmless sniper crabs.
A few harmless sniper crabs. This has got to save me right here, right? This.
Yeah, that one rock.
This one rock?
Actually, it might be pretty good. Should you time it?
What do you think?
Ooh. Yeah.
Odds of survival? Oh my god.
Actually, looking pretty good. This map is perfect. Oh.
Oh my god. I shouldn't have walked into them. I screwed up.
Oh, the sniper's flying with me. Nice. Oh. 1 HP in a dream.
I found a new rock.
Nice, nice. Lead them in. I'm watching so far. Oh no! You almost had the rock.
Dude, we would have spiked after that, right? We would have freaking spiked after that.
Yeah, you would have had you would have had 4 chests or 3 chests. You would have been 3 elemental chests with fire in all of them. Yeah.
I think I go in at the wrong time. I think it's because I'm going into like the shotgunners, the Gatling gunners, or what happened? Coach me.
Tricky. That was a spicy one. I think you did all the right things. The sniper just happened to be a bit quicker with the bullets. Freddy was just one of those situations.
Yeah, just one of those. Dude, I heard you're gonna start content creating. Tell us about this. He's like, God damn it, why'd you say that? Yeah, tell us, because we're excited.
No, I wanted to just have some kind of respectable
let's put him on the spot.
Because no one wants. I mean, I feel like it's just whenever I do collab videos with anyone, I'm using I was using this bad mic, and it was just this grainy experience, and I just didn't want to do any videos with anyone because it was like, I don't know, felt unprofessional. So who knows? Maybe there'll be some.
So we're gonna see you in future patch note videos or something.
Nah, I can't do that. It's too fake professional. I'll do watch me fail to get diamond for streams or something, and I'll try and diamond again because I have to do all this playtesting anyway. So I'm gonna probably do that at some point. But for the near future, definitely no patch note streams. Hello everyone. Yeah, I can't do that shit.
Hello.
Welcome to the patch notes. Yeah.
Dude, this katana is my favorite weapon.
Hell yeah.
Wait, do you think black hole katana's a thing?
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Bro, I know I could beat this difficulty. I know I can.
You can. I think maybe turn off the double elite. I think that's probably the
because
you would have had the last one
because it's imbalanced, or because I'm bad. Do you think you have to high roll to beat it, or no?
No. But it is a big challenge up, so it's probably.
Okay, no. My child will never let it. I got it. I got it. Watch this.
All right, believe it.
Let me lock in here.
That's also why I love watching your streams, because you try hard to win, and it's like a big deal. I hate when there's no stakes. I want stakes.
I want stakes. I want stakes.
Yeah.
You can also fail this difficulty. Do a crab VTuber. Oh, they might be onto something. A crab VTuber.
Yeah, without noise in the stream, SD would have already beaten it for sure. Yeah. No, I'm just yapping. I'm distracting.
Exactly, Dom. Exactly. Dude, slide my DMs for your phones later. My man. First seconds, rapidly heal. Ooh.
Ooh, got an amble right at
Yeah. I got this. Good start. Wait, what's good with freeze? Just don't take burn, or is there something that synergizes very well with freeze?
Yeah, don't take burn. That's the main anti-synergy. And then there's icebreaker is really good for AoE, because then it applies the freeze to everything around it.
I think I got this run. I don't know why, but I feel like I got it.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I'm kind of addicted to this game randomly.
Dude, I made me so happy to see you organically start it up, and you were looking forward to continue your streak. That makes me more happy than anything else.
We didn't plan this, chat. It was very organic. I'll have you guys know. It was very random again. We were homies already. We just chit chat and bullshit once in a while over our morning coffee or something. But we randomly decided to play again because we needed a good after party game, and your game has that energy, right? It's just it's one of the things that it's
I love
easy
that.
to love.
There's 30 minutes left. You just want to get one little run in, and it's that fun for that run. It's not the game you play all day for 6 hours, definitely not. But it's a game you just let's do one run of this before we finish, and that's the whole point of the game. A fun burst of enjoyment, and then you're done. And that's why. Yeah,
dude,
I'm so happy to see
that. Where you're taking it might be one of those games that you can't even put down all day. Honestly, where it's going, it's gonna be like a drug.
Too stressful for too much. I mean, PoE is pretty. I mean, I don't know.
That's a different.
I do find. Yeah, interesting, but that's just you're just addicted. PoE is addictive though. I couldn't believe that. I wanted to keep leveling up and stuff. That game just has a lot of, I don't know what going on in it to make it like you just want to keep playing it. But yeah, this game is definitely more of a enjoy your run for the day and come back tomorrow. You know.
What do you think I grab here? I don't take fire, so it's chipping or it's accelerating, and both of them I don't normally grab.
What are you doing? Oh wait,
it's either fireworks or dagger.
Do dagger and then accelerating, because then they're going to stay in the AoE zone way longer. Start off super slow, and they'll be like kind of concentrated in the center. So do accelerating dagger.
Oh, so this accelerating. Oh, so they linger. Oh.
Yeah, it'll like last in the center way longer, and then you'll get like way more like damage on a specific point. And plus the it's not mentioned bad UX, but you actually get multiplicative damage from each damage enhancement. So like if it says 50% more damage, it's not like a flat damage up, it's like the damage multiplied by 1.5. So it's like a really good it's really powerful to scale damage on specific models that way rather than just leveling them up normally.
This is for Neo
of all. Let's go. Want to see the epic chest?
I feel like this used to be hard. Did you make this easier? Like I remember when I first started playing this game, I'm like, bro, what the
Whenever I play parkour, I don't care, because I know I'm going to revamp it to be a procedural parkour course that every time you play, generates a little track for you. It's going to be
No,
great.
you're
I'm
not.
just not caring about parkour until then.
Yeah.
No, I distract you.
Bro, you did that. That was your fault. That was your fault. You said procedure. I got excited.
Yeah. No, it's going to be sweet.
Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm sorry, Neo. I'm getting a common chest.
That was my fault. If even. You might get a lesser chest. Let's see. Just about.
Well, that's embarrassing. That would be insane. You guys hear what's coming, dude. You guys hear it.
There's so much fun stuff, but the problem is there's so many fun ideas and everything takes so long to do. So I have to be kind of careful.
There's only one of you. Have you thought about cloning yourself or anything?
Yes. I'll be arguing over balance stuff with my clone.
Yo, big claws. What do you think here?
Yeah.
Yo, Neo, brand new sub. Thank you so much. Under Oath, thank you. IRL, best friend right there. Thank you for coming through. Oh, they were like, yo, Noisestorm is on my voice stream. Dude, the IRL, he's like one of the few that would like, I don't have a lot of IRL supporters, so it's really awesome. It's really cool.
Hell yeah.
What about you? What about your IRL? Is everyone like, oh my god, our best friend is Noisestorm. He's got this, like, how, or... You know,
I just don't.
No,
it's not a big deal. It's just no.
It is
like
a big deal.
It's chill. Not really. It's not like, you know. It is what it is. I just love what I do, and I'm not gonna. I don't. It's very normal outside of this. I just make my game, and anyone, you know. It's not like a big let's get this celebrity. I hate that kind of stuff as well. You know, any kind of.
I think it's just maybe not like a celebrity. It's just nice when you have like friends that want to like fan your flame. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I prefer when it's not talked about as much, to be honest.
Really? No, that okay. I guess you're in a different spot than me, though. I think that's why. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I think I saw like Skrillex live a few years ago. And when for some reason in that show, it clicked with me, like, this guy's a normal guy. Just like me. We're all just normal people. Status and building up people as being amazing is just not true. And I think from that moment on, I just have a different outlook on any kind of success. Like everyone
we're all humans, like just doing it.
Yeah. Just because someone has 5 billion followers doesn't make them any better than someone else. You know?
Yeah, I don't even see it that way. It's just like having people that like want to share in your they get excited for your victories. Yo, that new thing you tried out, like they have a new, like they don't care about your views on your new thing. They care like, yo, that cool thing that you just tried or whatever. Like, because they know the personal work that you went into, or like there's very few like IRL people that would be like see the different angle of like not what I did, but like, oh my god, I knew how hard it was for you to do that thing because, you know, you had to work on your speech for a long time to be able, you know what I mean? Like it's a different type of like love for like not the oh my god, look at all your success for this thing. It's like no, I know you as a human, right? Like I know what you went through to do that or whatever. Like I don't know, I think that's really cool.
Right, see the work you put in over time. Yeah, that's the most valuable thing. When you see people around you who are happy for you for knowing what you did, that's the
deeper
great.
reason.
I
yeah. I think that's more like what I guess what I mean is that like you sharing in your success, not because of like, or like what you're doing or what you're trying to do. More than they don't care if it didn't become popular at all, or you know what I mean, or like whatever. And I know I don't have a lot of that ROL, so it's cool to find that sometimes where it's like, whoa, you know, this.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think a lot of my friends aren't gamers per se, so it's kind of a detached thing. So I'm working on my weird crab game. You know, that's great. That's fine. I'm happy. You know, it's kind of better that way. It's kind of keeps it under the radar a little bit instead of like, you know, I prefer it that way to be a bit detached. But like,
yeah,
it's nice
that makes
just
sense.
to have as a. So how's that thing going? You know, it's a nice thing to check up on. But I like when I love checking it up with my friends and see what they're doing, and I'm interested in what they're doing. I think that everyone has their kind of thing, and it's nice to keep going. But it's not like a big deal.
Right.
It's not like any different to any other job. So
that makes sense. Wait, if I grab double accelerate, is it now making it worse, or is it making it like linger, like even slower? Or
it's gonna be slower, which is better, and then double the damage. So might be good.
So keep going, keep to do it, or because poison, if only like 1 or 2 needles hit somebody, poison doesn't matter, no? Or
poison's really good. I mean, it does cap out at 250, but you can increase it. So poison's really good. Incoming damage. I have to add the tooltip. I have to add a big, nice little extended UI that comes out and explains what poison is. But
so you might
yeah,
think
it's
that's
probably
better.
the best choice here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's freaking go, dude. Dude, if you guys, speaking of, if you guys didn't see this chat, this is part of the new stuff that's coming, right? I don't think we told them. This is
the amble. These were in.
Tell them.
These were in the game before as a really basic version. Now you get ambles, you slam the hammer, you get some cool ways to make your build more interesting, and not just you don't find dagger blast and it does the same thing every time. You can now customize it, make it home in or freeze or whatever, and it's still there's still not that many options, but I'm working on filling them out, and it's a new step of taking your build into wacky places every run and making it not just
that guy just got like deleted. The dagger blast
listen
thing.
To poison? Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that? I don't know what happened.
Poison's great. You probably put 250% incoming damage on him really fast from the daggers, and then frozen. Dang. Yeah, the poison is doing work.
Bro, I have a huge thing for like fireworks and stuff, so like seeing that is, like makes me so happy. This guy gamifies. Yeah, we call it. I think you even say like gamify, like it's gamified. So I give you a lot of credit. I'm like, yo, look at the gamified hammer. Like I love, and you're talking about like your randomizer or whatever, and you naturally, I don't know if you noticed, but you're like naturally thought. It's not even like it's so programmed now that you thought of a way to gamify it, the wheel, selling it, and it's not just start with random build like any other game would, but you naturally just think that way now. It's an instinct, a muscle that you worked out that you. And I don't know if that was a natural process or were you like, hey, there's a way to gamify it, or is that just how you thought of it now? Or I'm curious.
Just when you play so many games, you naturally like, damn, that's a really interesting way they did that when they could have just made it an option in the menu. And, you know, it's a small thing, but then at the same time, it's a trap to try and make everything have its own unique sound and animation, because then you're honestly overdoing it sometimes. So I find that for the big things that really matter, really, you know, ham it up. Like the previous enhancements, there was no anvils. It was just you interact with a totem. It was like a ding. There was not even a noise. It was just this quiet sound or whatever, the quiet little moment. Like this enhancement totem was the original one. It was just that. And now you get the anvil. You get choices. You get the ceremony of it happening. Still very scuffed looking, but it's in the direction I want to go, where I'm trying to show these big moments and have these big, you know, visuals for them.
Dude, there's so many people here. This is crazy. This guy gamifies. Poison is best in slot. Dude, I just threw the projectile right in the middle of that guy and he like exploded. It was awesome. Oh, daggers. Oh wait, I'm broke.
That's some kind of synergy bonus for every dagger based mod gives you. You know, there's so many cool things you can do once you start filling out the loophole with it and stuff. And you can have these.
Wait, would abilities stick to the person be good for our explosion thing or bad?
What are you using? What are you using?
What am I? Oh wait, I'm using black hole.
Oh yeah, that'll just give you a damage up. So it'll still do that basically.
I forgot that I'm using black hole. 75%. Yo. Okay. Ignite near, but we don't want to ignite. Enemies drop more. combo. I never take the
Ooh,
combo one.
dagger
I gotta be
blast,
honest.
okay.
I never take it.
Yeah, I've been actually taking it more lately. Noticed that it's pretty hefty. You get 50% per level. Same with the damage one. So it's a nice early game damage and crystal boost, but it is something I need to work on to make that system feel better because it's just not very clear or
Yeah.
moment.
Like, because if I keep
I think
going
the
in
shield
and
thing will
stuff,
work.
I'm gonna keep getting hit, so I'm never gonna have combo, right? Or do you think?
Right. I need to do some kind of rechargeable shield where it's like
Okay.
up until you get hit like 3 times, and then you lose your combo, and there's a big moment about it. Right now, it's very just flat and invisible. Just needs another few passes.
Damage that over time probably makes me worse, right? Time shot. Wait, time shot with like the freeze attack is probably fine, right? Or no?
So just the damage over time. I think the initial hit will still put the same freeze on, and then the damage itself from the projectile, which isn't that much for the ice thing.
So it wouldn't be that worth
take
it
as well. I mean, it's still a solid. Probably focus more on the ability because as you get the higher difficulties, you're gonna really have to focus in on your main as opposed to sprinkling everything because it scales nicely. Though.
Yeah, I probably have that
probably
bad habit.
yeah. Okay, let's see this fight.
Wait, where's the second elite? I'm scared.
To the
Oh
right.
my god! Hi! This guy just comes barreling in.
I love how they combine. That's why that modifier is one of my favorite because alone you can predict what they're going to do, but together they're going to make these wacky. And you're like, oh no, it's panic inducing. I think it's hard to do difficulty modifiers that aren't just more health and more damage, and this is one of them that feels kind of fun. Yeah, I get to lead them over. Nice.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
Oh, did he miss it? Damn. No, he's in it.
This guy has to go.
You know, seeing this actually makes me realize just how much harder the game is with this on, actually, because
It's
really
actually
does
insane.
change gameplay.
I feel like second pile of bosses and stuff, and I have more identity in my build, well, I'll be fine, but this earlier one, oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of health in there, but I'll probably die.
Oh, nice. One down. Come on. Oh, it just must have faded just about.
Yeah. I have to somehow, because the black hole doesn't, like, it's right in front of me, right? The black hole appears right in front of me.
Yeah, it's fairly short range.
I gotta freeze
I
this
love
guy.
that the little limpets were kind of scooting around to the side there, trying to get a huge shot on it.
Okay. That was me. Yo,
Oh, you did it. Nice.
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. Oh my god.
That is the clutch feeling I was always hoping for. Where you're down to the wire, but you can still heal back. But it's risky because you're gonna go into the danger to get it. Yes, that's great. Compared that to your playthrough like a week ago, where you just melted every elite without even any thought. Right? You just. So it's great to see that.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, wait. There's so many good purple choices here. More crystal drops from eliminating enemies. 25% chance to block incoming damage. I'm not gonna. I think my greed self wants bonus, but I'm not gonna lie. If I'm gonna be I have to go in to drop the black hole, which is my main attack. So I feel like I need Ring of Deflection as the right choice. No.
I love this decision-making process.
Yeah. But if I had like a projectile that was doing the same thing, like a grenade, or I was throwing it, I would take greed. But because it's the black hole, I feel like I have to take Ring of Deflection, and that's cool. I think that's how I feel. Awesome. I don't know. What do you think? What, that's sound, right? It's sound. I think.
Yeah. Well, see, I go in the greedy option every time and die fast.
No matter what.
It's just yeah, no matter what.
But
you're playing smart. You're playing smart.
Like, I do a lot of greedy things and then play smart after to try to get out of my greedy situation. I think is my play style.
That's awesome. I do love roguelikes that really challenge you to make the sensible choice or the greed choice.
Yeah. Oh my god, we can come back here. Yeah. I told you, chat, I got this one. For some reason, I feel it. I feel like we got this one.
Looking good.
Bro, I'm coming back. I don't know who doubted, but I'm telling y'all, I think I have this one. I need like faster ability cooldown or something. And I think it looks like a grid. So is there anything else in the update that you're working on the next couple of weeks before the launch date? Anything worthy?
New weapon and new ability. So they're the last two, because it's nice to. It's kind of like the sprinkle on top, having a new ability, melee, which is the katana, and then the weapon as well, just having it as the cornerstone is like, okay, great, I can try this new update because there's a new weapon to diamond. So at least there's that bit of content, and then they can explore the new stuff while doing the new diamond. That's kind of the cadence I've enjoyed. I've seen that works. Because you know when there's a game and it does a really good update, but it's like there's nothing main about it. You know, they've made a lot of good changes, but you've kind of mastered everything already. Like that's how people feel. They'll say, oh well, I've you know, in this case I've diamonded everything. Why would I come back and play it? Sure, balance changes are good, but why would I bother? So having that reason to come back and really, because sometimes it's a multiplayer, they have to convince 4 of their friends to play with them, and it's just not going to be a big, you know, reason for them all to come back. They're not going to play. So it's one of those things. But I'm going to try and do better with the marketing this time, and not you know, just put it out too fast. That said, I have 9 days, and no trailer, no weapon, no ability.
I saw your katana tweet.
I'm starting, but it's still a lot to do. So I'm gonna go into grind mode after this and get some work done. But I know what they are. I've it all prototyped, so I just need to finish it and get them in.
I love that. I'm taking driller here. I think. I don't know why though. Bro, I'm gonna win this one. I'm gonna win this one.
It as well.
Dude, right, what is the choice here?
2x.
What is the choice here? Will I die?
I go 2x. Elemental, you should be okay if you can keep distance. The demolition could be an easy win. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Oh wait, you kind of can.
No grapple though, but yeah.
Yeah.
Demolition is an easier one, as in you can. The trick for the demolition is hit the armor plates off each thing and then just blow them all up in one hit.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then elemental is probably strong as well. Honestly, your call. I'll respect the decision.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Dude, I'm scared because my max HP is still so low. Or maybe this is not low. Maybe I've just been like so scared and but I think it's so easy to take a lot of damage really quick.
It's pretty low. Yeah. It's interesting. I need to maybe slightly unfair at the moment, unforgiving, but that's the fun of it. That's where I'm at. Like, I do want that tension. If I make it too lenient either way, it's just gonna make it boring.
Whoa. I do have ring of deflection.
True.
Okay. Oh, fudge. Okay, don't pop that too early.
Good map for it.
Yeah. Now. Okay. Okay.
Oh, nice rock.
Okay.
Yeah, you're getting good at the rock.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Hell yeah. Oh,
my
he
black
melted
hole that guy, dude.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, we did it.
I really wanted to every element this little puzzle, and you're kind of figuring out your strategy, your route, what rocks you're gonna pop first, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Nice. I became a more bigger fan of that recently as I go up the higher. So again, that's another thing where like lower difficulties, you don't care about that stuff.
Right.
But
doesn't matter. You're
higher
just gonna
difficulty,
win.
I'm like, dude, I gotta kill this elite somehow, and I know. Then when I learn that like the fire on the ground is doing a lot, and now it's like, wait, I care about it now. Like, oh my god, that fire damage is helping me kill these early like elites or whatever, right? Like, that feels good. That feels good.
That's awesome.
Dude, we're locked in chat. I'm telling you, I'm winning this run, dude. I feel like these are not the things I was hoping for. Oh, melee range is good though. Reload? Extra portal.
The
interesting.
or portal ring. Yeah.
Okay, we go portal. We go portal. Would you go econ here or relic? Is like, how do you regard relics? Like, theirs are like really high up.
I'm working to make them more interesting so that each one is really worth it. But at the moment, relic is probably my top choice in that scenario, because like there's some really cool legendary ones and greed ones, but you don't see them as much. You have to play a lot to see them, which is a problem in itself. But I think if I'm doing the randomizer run, probably a relic you start with, because it's a unique effect that kind of changes. Like the common ones don't really, but the higher ones do have a more interesting effect when you that you might build around. So I like the idea of having stuff you can build around.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. That's the best part. I think that's what keeps you coming back, right? It's that feeling of like,
yeah,
I didn't just grab damage ups, I built something. And then a lot of people don't understand that. Like, I have to teach that a lot of times. It's like, yeah, this is what you're striving for. If they feel like they're making something, you're winning.
Right, and it's fun. You're being creative. You're letting people. Hey, look, like, my favorite thing in the Discord is, hey, Noise, check this crazy build I made today, and it's this crazy mess of projectiles. I have no idea how they did it, and it looks really cool. So I'm like, that's awesome. How did you do that?
Yo.
Like, I have to actually ask them because I don't know. Because the more combinations you start, adding, the more cool stuff people can do. So that's where this enhancement system comes, because everyone is used to a mace ball just being 3 basic mace balls that come out of your gun. Great. Now they can do all sorts of crazy stuff if you have the right setup, and you can stack like 9 different enhanceables on the enhancements on the mod, so you can go for some crazy builds, and it's really cool to see.
Oh, they're asking about your music.
How is the music made? All in a DAW? Yeah, it's in Ableton and loaded as a single track. I don't know what you mean about single track, but yeah, it's all made in Ableton with plugins like ProQ. The UHE plugins are really good. A lot of the stock Ableton stuff is great, and then native instrument stuff is really good too. So I'm just using that. Honestly, making music for crowds is so much more fun than making serious music, because I don't have to care as much, and I can just, enjoy myself and finish songs that are just like, I'm sure you've heard the shop songs. I keep making them by accident because they're just fun and they don't really fit gameplay, but they're kind of just enjoyable to make. So it's one of those things. Always thought Crab Rave was made at FL Studio. No, that was Ableton as well. Do you ever feel happy the game doesn't crash from players for you? Yes. So happy. See that much stuff going on, and they might have like 2 FPS, but the game doesn't crash. Makes me very, very pleased. It's so funny. It was multiplayer bugs where, like, when it got too crazy, people would get kicked, and it was a horrible debug to try and figure out what was going on. But I think right now it's pretty much, you have to go pretty crazy to get it again. So it's just funny how multiplayer changes stuff that would work fine on single player, but then you have to just break in certain cases. Yeah, it's a new problem. So it multiplies a bit.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm in this run, bro.
Yeah, I love it. I love the focus. I just makes me so pleased, because as soon as I see someone losing focus and they're just glassy-eyed playing through a run, that makes me sad, because I failed at keeping the game engaging. And it's fine if it happens when looping. That's to be expected. But if it's happening on the main loop, which it was every time for me too, and I'm like, wait, I made this and I'm bored. That's a problem. I need to try and adjust that. So I'm so happy to see you kind of locked in, thinking about it, reading stuff, and wondering which choice is next. And there is a satisfying mastery then where you kind of know, okay, I'm missing this. I'm likely to get this pickup in this blue pool. So, people can really optimize around that. So it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's what roguelike should be striving for. Even if it's not like a hardcore, but like that decision making where like your choices should be, as a player, when you play a game like this that's supposed to be based on replayability, your choices should be like Lego blocks and you're building something. But in all these games, we're so used to it not today. It's get your damage up, damage 10%, damage 10%, attack speed 10%. They're both attack damage ups, right? Like, that's it. We're not building something. We're not building Lego blocks. We're just getting power. And so we don't realize we're not building for replayability. It's really actually stagnant. We're not doing anything, right? So I love what you're striving for here. I think is the goal, and that's what makes players also feel really cool when you hit that sweet spot.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and there's a ton of damage increased by when doing this in this game still, but as I add more cool loot, I can then start snipping out all the mediocre stuff that doesn't really feel great and replacing it with like a mushroom that explodes after 5 seconds, or like interesting stuff like that.
I just saw a chest in the distance as I teleported.
Oh, the secret chest? No.
That's so funny.
Or some games do the opposite, where it is interesting upgrades, but you can only hold like 3 things at once or 2 things at once. So you're constantly leaving loot on the floor behind you, and that feels bad. I like when you can really go. There's no real there's limits, but they're very generous, and you can really go kind of scale really hard in loads of directions, and still the game seems to keep up. But when the game is like, oh, this is like, here's a level 3 weapon, throw away your other weapon that you've already modded in order to get this level 3 weapon, but you have to leave the other one behind, it always gets me like, no, why? It's just,
why?
It's interesting, just,
Oh my god. Yeah, I imagine the younger crowd also just like loves like the Crab Rave is just so easy to love. I'm sure for like a younger crowd they just get it, right? And I would imagine it's the same thing here where you look at it and you just, oh my god, it's a crab with a weapon, right? It's just this silly and whimsical, I guess. And I would imagine that's also part of the success there, maybe, or just a
I
part
think a
of
lot
like
of people,
how viral. Right?
well, I think a lot of people tried it thinking it was a refund game, and they actually end up liking it, and that's the coolest story ever. When I see
Bro,
people
even
like this
me,
looks
yeah,
so...
when I first played it, I remember being blown away. I'm like, wait, why does this actually, like, we played a game like 2 days ago, and it was like, again, this third person or whatever, and you expect this, like, especially if it's like on the cheaper end, where it feels just like a jank thrown together, you know, these like Unity like boxes, rudimentary. And I remember like, whoa, this actually feels crazy for this price. Like, what is going on here? So it does, it feels
That's
really
awesome.
good. You think it's gonna be like this cash grab meme game, as they say, a meme game, right? And then you play it and you're like,
it's
wait,
an
what
easy
the hell?
option, and yeah, I want that. I want to trick, like, not trick, but be like, you know, expectations on the floor, no idea of what it's gonna be like, and then you actually, wait a second, I'm having fun. Wait a second, I want to play again. Wait a second, I actually enjoy this thing, and that's what I want. It's not like a, you know, you really. I've played so many games like this where, yeah, you go in there kind of, okay, this is gonna be a low end experience, and it is, and that's where your expectation level is at. But then when you get that pleasant surprise now and then, it's just that it's really cool. So I try to aim for that, where it looks kind of maybe this isn't going to be very fun, but then it ends up being delivering more than
Like talented. That's
more than
talented
it
for me.
looks.
Those $3, $4. Luck Be a Landlord, I think, did the same thing to people, where you like from the outside you're like, what is this crap? And then you play and it spawned like a whole thing of, you know, as they call clones or inspired games, which was awesome. Wait, what is this gonna do for my weapon? It's not gonna. It's just gonna go back into the sky, right?
Oh, I don't know. Try it.
I don't know. All right, I'm in.
I don't think I've tried it on this weapon. So do they go back in the sky?
Or
I
do they
wonder.
shoot to me?
I actually don't.
Increase.
I think it'll be the sky. Right, the bet. I'm a betting man.
I'm not taking that.
curious.
No, I have too much low HP. Damn,
Oh,
we need
don't take
HP,
out shot.
dude. Oh my god, armor is giga expensive.
Let's see the boomerang.
I
Do it
don't
on the
greed,
test
right? I would die. I have no HP, right?
thing. Greed just gives you a random greed thing. It depends. You
Oh,
feeling
it's
greed?
not gonna give it to me automatically.
Oh, it will. It will.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
it'll
taking
just apply. Like, it could be good. It could be more max health. yeah, I'm taking that. I mean,
No, I can't throw this red. I'm not doing it. Nope.
try the boomerang. I'm kind of curious to see what it does on the dummy.
I can't even tell what it's doing. I don't think
Oh,
it's doing
maybe
anything.
shoot.
Oh,
you
wait,
know what?
wait,
That's
wait.
great. It's taking too long to start the boomerang, so it just hits the floor, so it's a free damage up. Nice.
Oh.
That's cool.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
some mods that usually wouldn't be picks are picks in certain cases. One really cool synergy I'm hoping you'll come across is when you get returning on something like sparks or daggers, where all the daggers fly out and then return back to the center, and you get the satisfying AoE in the middle.
Oh, that sounds sick.
Oh, you just
Did you
shredded
see
him.
that?
Is that the poison dagger?
That's our daggers doing that. Yo,
Build it
we
now.
made
Now
an
get
ability build.
returning on that. Oh, that's so sick.
Holy
You
crap.
shredded him. And Elites have had a health bump since you last played as well, so you properly shredded him. That's not
my God.
that's no look.
Bro, I usually don't respect. Like, I'll mix in some ability damage, some this and that, but now I'm like, oh wait, no, you can like use it as a build, like it's viable. Like I can do it. Is like, oh my god.
Abilities
okay.
are still undercooked as hell, but there's
Yeah.
going to be some. The more of
Sick.
these you see, it's going to be really cool. And ideally, and you've been doing it more and more the more I see you play, you're mixing it up. You're doing your melee, you're throwing your ability, then
Yeah,
you're jumping
yeah.
back and spamming your gun. Whereas when you first started playing, you were only kind of using the gun with the occasional, you know, ability. But the flow state is when everything comes together and you're kind of zipping in and just using it. I love, dude. It's so cool to see this because it's like,
Dude, every
everything
update you
hoping a
do,
player
I
does
think
is-
I think that's why I keep playing more every time I come back, is because your updates are like really leading to that, right? Like when the game first started in early access, I thought it was like a very just like kitey, like it felt good, but it was very like, you know, the upgrades you pick, it was kind of like, okay, it's cute. But every update
Run
and
of the
stuff, I
mill,
feel like
yeah.
it's like engaging more and more. Like it's
Hell yeah.
it's
That's so cool.
dude, it's so exciting. Like the future of this game is gonna be so insane. That's so crazy.
And then the Game Doctor takes just a little,
Yeah,
even little
yeah.
small bits are really useful just to steer me, because it's rare to have someone, you know, with you've got so much experience with all kinds of games, just seeing
Yeah.
the little comments really helps, you know, in certain, because also if you coming back after a long time, you're noticing stuff that I wouldn't see after playing it every day, or people who play every week wouldn't see. So it's just really cool.
Bro. Oh, wait, does Iron Claw's stacking reduce the delay between cooldowns even more? I'm guessing yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, the randomizer streaks. SC won't be able to get his hands off it. Yeah,
I think randomizer's a wrap.
Streaking is going to be funny because you really have to, you know, oh, I'm being dealt this horrible combo of things. Now let's make it work.
How do I make it work?
I love that in games where you have to make it work.
When is that coming?
Everyone is winnable.
When is that coming? I need it.
So this update comes out on the 24th. Then I'm going to start my process of making all the unique models and visuals while also making the randomizer. And I want to put it out sooner because 5 months is just too long between updates. It's crazy. So I would imagine, being very optimistic.
Yeah.
Early June.
Okay.
I mean,
that's what I'm so excited for that.
It's gonna be fun. And like I said, it's a small thing that just adds so much replay value because you just want to run in for a randomizer. And it's funny, like you say every time, it's just a nice thing to have. Just let's start with a random. Let's just
yeah, give me the puzzle.
Not necessarily
let's
have
do
to
this.
go around and read everything. Yeah, give me the puzzle. Let me solve it. Everyone is winnable. I always love that as well. Like when I'm playing Slay the Spire or something, I've this kind of, I know it's really hard, but everyone is winnable. So I want to design that. Even though it's an action game, there's still that element of if you build, knowledge will kind of allow you to win, you know?
Oh my god, dude.
So what's your most anticipated games coming up right now?
Ooh, good question. Good question.
I'll let you finish this off. I know you're using brain power in this stuff.
Dude, I became a huge fan recently. I've been excited for it, but I didn't think I would love it. Escape the Mad Empire is insane. It's like all the things you kind of like love. It's like you can play it real time, but it's like tactics, roguelike, like enemy identity, how do you use your gadgets, not like roguelike like modern, like, you know what I mean, like real roguelike, like but they mix in roguelite elements. They mix in like the town building of like Darkest Dungeon 1, so you can kind of get out, extract with your loot. If they die with the loot, they lost it. It has a lot of elements that are very like ahead of the market, like extraction, roguelike, this and that. Beautiful pixel art, small team, like 2 people.
Very cool art.
Yeah, it's so good. We watched the trailer late. It's hilarious. But they're killing it. They ended up seeing our footage and like they ended up seeing some of the Game Doctor work when I played it, and I was like raving about it, you know. And they were like, bro, it gave us such a momentum boost and stuff. Like our like it's exactly what we needed. I was like, bro, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it was so cool. I think that's one of them. Chat, what else have I been? This little indie game called Gnomes.
Steam?
Gnomes. I think that's one of the coolest tower defense games in forever. I think a lot of games try to do roguelike tower defense, and I think they're like killing it. It's kind of
I've
like
always
your
wondered
game,
because like that's the
broken
perfect
build.
genre, right? You
would think
can combine and mod and get towers that are shooting homing rockets.
Yeah, so I think Gnomes gets the closest. You should try that out. Gnomes is fire, and that's this month. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Sick. Isn't it fun to always have new stuff to look forward to?
Yes,
so
dude. I tell chat all the time. That's my like cheat code to life.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I want to just be excited for like a new movie or a new game, or like even if it ends up like people are like, I don't want to get excited for, you know, those anymore. They always let me down. Where it's like, yeah, they're probably gonna let me down. I can tell through the trailer that it might let me down, but I still want to be excited about it, right? Like I just want to be excited. If they let me down, cool, right? Like, but they might not, right? They might not.
They might not. That's the joy. You read the patch notes, get hyped. If it does let you down, oh well. But you had the fun of hoping it would be good.
Wait, orbiting is sick on our daggers here, or do you think because we have double slow?
Oh. Yeah. Orbiting.
Or is lifetime? No, because lifetime they're still gonna shoot away. It doesn't matter, right?
If you got the returning enhancement, which would mean they would come back and then linger, that would be really good. So you could build in hopes of finding that, but it's not guaranteed.
Okay. Let's take. I'm taking orbiting. This is going crazy.
Sick.
This is sick.
Love this. Look at him cooking up a build.
Oh my god. I just need to get some like max HP or something and it's a wrap. I just need to not die.
Don't get it?
I need to not die. What the hell? Ooh. Oh my god, they're like jumping into this canyon.
Oh yeah, no. They spawn up there, but the animations spawn on the ground, so they look scuffed.
They're so funny.
funny.
Nope.
Oh, you're shredding. I think this is the
Bro.
run.
This is the run.
I love that he freezes with his
Yep.
hammer up in midair.
Yeah, it's also awesome actually.
It's funny because a lot of this stuff is emergent for me too. Like I make a generic freezing function, but then like that I don't think I've ever seen that with the guy freezes. So it's like when you make emergent systems, then you find your own. Oh,
It's exciting for you
shredding
too.
now. It's exciting for me, yeah. Kind of like the Noited devs. They did a playthrough of their own game before it came out, and they were like laughing at little things that were happening and surprised. Yeah, I love that because it's like
Emergence,
shows
baby.
it's truly emergent. Yeah.
It's like you guys are putting parts and like ingredients in something and like don't know the full outcome of it in a way, and it's like really exciting. Or every ingredient in like a roguelike should also have like multiple outcomes, right? Like it should never be like
Yes.
flat, right? Like there's gonna be a lot of paths just adding this. It should be like, that's why I always say like good design, it's like almost in a roguelike at least, like what you add should be multiplicative almost, right? Like
Yeah, gives more options rather than gives, yeah, like for example, say the Spire has a generic or a linear upgrade, you just get a definite upgrade every time. But what if you could mod
What if?
cards and put different things?
yeah.
It's one of those things where if you give people enough branches, but then obviously that's much harder to balance. But the
Yeah.
payoff is you get so much more interesting possibilities when you're actually making builds, and that's for me the fun where people are theory crafting stuff way after months after games are out, and they're finding new combos. And
Yes.
that's kind of why I tried ARPGs in the first place, because I was trying to find out, okay, you're playing this game for 100 hours. How is this still
why are you
interesting
here?
after but they're finding all these really niche pieces of gear that you have to farm for, and then you links with this passive node. And I find that really cool. I just think that it's very complicated, and I love that roguelikes distill all that fun
Yeah.
into this 30 minutes, right? And you're getting
Yeah.
all that fun just packed in. So that's why I like, yeah, it's just the ingredients of a good time. And then you start the next run completely from scratch, and you're not just furthering your already set in stone build by another 10% or 1% just sitting, right? You're doing something completely new, and that kind of starts you off in a fresh direction. So
You grew up a gamer?
yeah, but I played like Call of Duty and
Yeah, same. What got you
like
into
I wasn't
roguelikes, do you
playing
think?
roguelikes.
Yeah, for me that came later too.
I think it was Slay the Spire, and it
Okay.
was just highly recommended, and I was just in the mood to try something not actiony, I think. And then I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is really maybe yeah, just different games that were coming around. And then I think I've always liked COD Zombies and all these kind of games, but there's a very limited amount of stuff you can do to upgrade. So I always wanted the feeling of upgrading. So I probably was looking for different games that let you do more.
You had a want for it.
I just love the idea of scaling upgrades and all this stuff. And then there's, it just makes you are shredding. Oh my god!
Yo,
I love
my
the
max
chaos.
HP just went crazy.
Oh my god! Oh,
I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
good
scale my
feeling with
max
this one.
HP
Get
like crazy.
yeah, get some max HP and then you're gonna be golden. You've got damage for days.
Oh my god, this
someone
build
else
is
knows,
so sick.
have you played Wild Frost? It has a cool charm system. I played it the day it came out. I haven't tried it again since. I thought it was really polished. I just wanted to wait till it was in 1.0. Is it out now, or is it?
Oh, it's out now.
Finished?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I definitely have to check it out then. I haven't. I thought it was really polished and really nice. I don't even know why I stopped. I just decided to wait. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? This is so nice. I'm gonna wait and try the full 1.0 with their full
Yeah.
vision kind of done.
Yeah, I love Wild Frost. I definitely rave about that a lot, and I use it a lot as an example for client work of like Lego puzzles. And like you were just saying, like what if with a card it could have multiple outcomes, right? Like what if you could shape it during your run and stuff? And they play with that idea with like these very like gamified, like the charm system that they have. So like a multi-strike character is not just put strength on multi-strike character because he has
Right.
multi-strike.
You
Right
got-
now
you
it's
got
like I'm using him
modular
for
parts.
CC.
Yeah.
I'm using him for this, right?
Right.
So when I kind of work with my clients to show them why their systems are very limited, and they start to get that, they're like, oh my god, it makes so much sense now, right? It's very like multiplicative. Do you enjoy
Yeah,
watching
just
people play your
as-
game?
I enjoy watching Esty play because he plays in a very particular way. That's he's talking about what he's doing. When people play and they just kind of another 9bullet who was in the chat. He releases videos all the time, and he's great because he's starting to do commentary videos too. And anyone who's talking their way through a game, and that's what I enjoy. Why are they doing this? This is not really necessarily impressive gameplay. So
Why are you doing it?
I like it in certain cases, but it does. It's funny because when the game came out, I was in this like overwhelmed state of everything was happening constantly. There was just people playing it, and I was really stressed from just the build up to the release, and I was just kind of overwhelmed. So I just watched loads of gameplay, and that was just cool to see, you know, on release. But since then, I kind of don't watch as much because, you know, a run takes like an hour to watch, and there's so little time in the day when you're not working to, you know, to exercise, eat well, sleep a lot, work hard, and then there's not enough time to watch like 3 or 2 runs of a full game. So it's I do enjoy it, but it's like a rare, you know, treat rather than something I'm constantly doing because it's just ain't enough time.
So do you work out? Is that what that means?
Yeah. Well, actually, I watch your stream, and I watch any videos I'm interested in while I'm running. So
no way! Get out of here!
I can do
You're
like
just saying that.
I can
Don't
do like
just say that. Don't just say that.
Yeah. But what, like, especially if like a game came out this week and you're gonna play it, I usually watch your VOD, and then I watch game dev videos. But it's just like I was saying earlier, it's hard to find devs nowadays who are, because I think GDC used to be a really good place to find that kind of stuff, but it seems like it's less frequent now. So finding really good, interesting game dev videos. I'm more interested actually now in these kind of game dev essays, like there's a Slay the Spire one that came out a few days ago. It was really good. I think that guy Glenn is his name who made it. But they're really interesting, and they're really well made, and they kind of break down the story of why a game, how it went through trouble. And I didn't know this Slay the Spire didn't do well at the start, and they were
it was slow, right?
Oh, this elite fight is crazy. Oh. I'll shut up here.
Wait, he didn't get poisoned at all. What? I just whipped.
You're healing. It's good. Clutching it back to play safe.
I don't know how I'm healing. How am I healing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, you got this.
Oh my god.
Really nicely. Oh, nice. Very, very good. Love that. You got your health nicely. Actually, you probably could have taken a hit as well because you played well for the last, 20 seconds of that. Love that.
I don't know how I healed. Oh my god, bro. I was just freaking out. Okay, you were talking about what? Working out, videos. Oh, essay? The Slay the Spire. Oh, can you link me that, by the way? The Slay the Spire thing? Eventually? Whenever. Wait, I don't know how I just started healing there, but I was on the edge of my seat, man.
Do you have, that's awesome. Do you have a, like, health shot or something? It seemed like when you were hitting him, you were getting heals.
Regenerator, but that's in the beginning of a battle, right? Or no?
Oh, you were just getting regen from that then, I guess. It's for the first, like, 60 seconds, but it does actually last. It feels like it lasts a while. That's awesome. I love that you were, like, on the edge of your seat, but you played well, so you recovered a bit, and then,
oh my god,
to clutch it out. Hell yeah. This video. It's a very good video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. If SC streams your game, I recommend you just watch and enjoy, and then re-watch with analytical. Hey, I appreciate that. That's cool. I do get that feedback sometimes, and I do value it a lot, where I don't want to just be like the analytical deep guy, even though that is my passion. Where, when I started creating content, what was important to me is the commentary. I know that's something that's very important to me. I'm not just gonna say, okay, pick this. Okay, I'm gonna analyze it. I'm gonna talk about it. Or now that I pick something, I want to explain to the common viewer that doesn't understand and play hardcore, hey, why is this run engaging? Why is it really unique, right? And I'll go over my build. Okay, we're doing this to do this to do this. And now they're like, oh, cool. Now that they're attached to the run as well. And I know it's something that like I value heavily. So I talk like nonstop, or it's because I know it's something that like I care about. I care about the commentary more than anything. So it's cool that to hear you guys kind of resonate that back sometimes, where that lands for you guys is like, oh, good. I'm scared I'm losing that sometimes.
No, dude, and that's the thing. Roguelikes are only fun for me to watch if someone playing it really wants to win and wants to continue a streak, or doesn't want to lose, but also is engaging and entertaining to watch. And that's rare. It's actually quite rare. A lot of people will just do a long commentary and not really feel like they care. But if you feel like you're really in it, it's a big deal.
I love that. I love that. I'm so scared. I'm just taking ways to heal, actually. Because our abilities, we just need to survive between ability explosions is the idea, I think. If I can find faster ability cooldown, it's a wrap. Oh my god, chat, I told you this is the run from Island 1, dude. I'm telling you guys, I'm locked in.
That regenerator is popping out. Look at that. You're healing a lot.
It is actually, dude, because we also have the increased healing or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
the increased healing? Yeah. That got moved to epic because it was just, it's so strong because it scales every piece of healing. But yeah. But now it feels good. Now there's some time between taking damage and having to heal back up. It's not just this, oh, I'm back at full. Okay.
I'm at full.
I can just take damage. Yeah.
Yeah, you get to appreciate the moment a little bit longer. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. We're almost there.
You got this.
I feel like I feel like I should loop because like if we're gonna go all in, if I do get there, you were talking about looping gets like really challenges the build too, right? Oh, damage.
Yeah, and right now to get a diamond, you have to loop with all the modifiers on, which is just the extreme way to show that you've definitely mastered your build. But
yeah,
again, like without unique content in looping, it's still a bit samey, obviously. But it's
is
fun
that your
that
plans, like nuclear throne, like things you can only see? Okay, yeah.
I haven't. I want to beat nuclear throne. I haven't beaten it yet, but I assume they do cool unique biomes after there. But yeah, basically
they do a lot
unique
of weird
content.
stuff.
That's sick. Yeah, that's a great game. I really enjoy it. I play it like a run of nuclear throne every now and then just to see if I can beat it, and I don't. So no.
Yeah.
I just I'll. But that's the point. You play it and you try, and then you say, all right, I'll try that again in a few days. But,
yep.
Same with. Yeah. What's your Game Doctor take on Noita? I'm so curious because it's one of my favorite games.
So Noita became a meme on the channel. Not a meme because of it. A meme because so we were like, as soon as it came out, before it went like viral and everyone started talking about it. We were already playing it and raving about it. So imagine me playing it for like 5 months and people are still not like really checking it out. They don't know about it yet, right? Or only my niche like little community. So I'm playing the hell out of it. I'm talking like, and you know me, I jump from game to game. Bro, I was playing it like 10-hour streams. Like every day. Like that's rare. I almost never do that. I was like, oh my god. So we started streaking it. We started doing all these things, right? And I finally moved on. And then it went like big, like 2 months later after that. So like, you know, let's just say 6 months after its release, everyone starts talking about it, playing it. And so I have all these people coming in my chat, dude, SD, did you play Noita? Did you play Noita? And it's like, wait, what? Like, I played it for like 5 months straight. Do you guys not watch me? Like, what is going on? Like, you know what I mean? And like, so it became a thing where I started getting frustrated because it's like, I have the misfit curse where I just learn about things too quick, like right when they release. And the time it becomes popular from their favorite streamer or the popular streamer, it's like 5 months later, 4 months later, and I'm like moved on. So it's like, so I went through this like thing for a while where I'm questioning like, dude, do I not, is what I'm doing bad? And like, I should be waiting until it's popular to do, because I'm going to grow slower because of it. And I do, I grow slow because of what I do. So it's really hard, and I deal with it every day to this day, where it's like, well, do I want to grow, or do I want to do what I love, or you know what I mean? It's like you get it, and it's like it's a constant battle of like, I know why I grow slower. It's because like I'm doing what I love, so I'm moving on, and I'm not just, you know, click farming and doing. It's a constant battle. It kind of sucks, and like I also just don't want to give in to that just because it would make me bigger. But then there's the other side of like, well, if you take responsibility and you focus on growing, more people would get your message because you'll have more. But then it's like also selling my soul for a little while, and it's like, yeah, it's like, what do you do? What do you do? You know?
It's tricky because you're both content creator and you're also improving your business as, you know, improving games. So you have to move fast. You have to be playing everything, or else like there's not enough. You know yourself, there's not enough time to play everything for 10 hours and you know, really get it. So it's definitely hard. I can definitely. Yeah,
you get it. Now it's worse because that was before Game Doctor, right? And so now it's even worse because now for my clients, you know, they don't realize it because now it's like, well, I'm showing up to class every day. I need to stay up to date for this to work. And I don't think people realize that I need to do this. And so now it's like bigger than me. But I guess with that, then as long as people keep finding the work, like every time somebody that's done the work or is around the work tells a friend, and then they're like, okay, let me try it out, and then they love it. And so I'm hoping it'll have a ripple effect where it's okay for me to grow slower as a content creator because the work is getting out there. And I think that'll have an effect because then more devs will want to lock in because it's like free value. So I'm hoping it'll have like a ripple effect and good things will just come back eventually is my current hope. Yeah,
and you're the most consistent person that you seem to be on all the time. Really long playing everything. So I think just keep at it, and you will find success. Like we said, any person doing what they really love and is good at doing it will get what they want. The timing is always a factor of,
Dude, that definitely resonated with me when you said that, because one of my greatest fears to this day, one of my biggest fears is like that it's like out of my hands. Like it doesn't matter how good you are at something, and it doesn't matter how dedicated you are to something, that it's like getting lucky, right place at the right time, or I could be the best guru and best designer to like level up people, and yet if they don't find me or they don't give me that chance, then it's not up to me, right? And that's my biggest fear, like one of my biggest fears.
Well, there's a lot in game dev. There's a lot of people going, "Oh, this game failed because it didn't get lucky."
Oh dear God!
And there's a lot of that kind of stuff. And I believe it's true for everything. If the problem, if your work is really high quality, but it's niche in that only devs will probably be the ones wanting to watch it. So you have to bank on devs coming to your stream to see the work being good, and then hiring you from that, which is obviously a really tough ask, because a lot of devs, like we talked about, are kind of distanced from a lot of the stuff, and they don't even. It's definitely hard. I can totally see why it's kind of a tricky scenario. But at least you're also putting out content, and you're being an entertaining streamer at the same time as you're building your own skills. So it's kind of a double buff for you.
I think that's a good. I think that definitely helps. Yeah.
This run's looking pretty good. Max health is stacking up nicely.
Dude, I think we got this. I'm telling y'all. I like Noida before it was cool. I know I sound like a hipster, but like it is. Yeah, it's just, I mean, whatever. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. It's funny, Noise works out watching ST. I do that too sometimes, like a 1-hour cardio session. Dude, that's so crazy. I feel like I gotta make my content better, knowing that people are like kind of like going about their day watching. I gotta make sure my commentary is on point.
It's the curse of streaming so much. Like I literally couldn't, if I wanted to, watch all the streams. So usually there's like a game or a specific moment that I wanted to check back on, and then that's perfect for a cardio session. So good choice.
Do you think I'm fine if I take Ring of Power? I'm not breaking it, right? This thing attacks really fast, right?
Oh,
or no?
Yeah, you're probably fine. I mean, you're relying on your daggers for most stuff, right? So
yeah. Wait, but that means I just needed to slow.
You're almost near the end. Yeah.
How does ice work? I did it multiple times, or will my damage freeze them?
Oh yeah, so it's like a chance base for the ice to apply, but it gets multiplied by damage, so I think you'll be good.
Okay, let's see that. Do you guys think you might do this again at a later? Noise, how are you? What do you think of the date so far, man?
Having a good time watching. I'm enjoying.
How do you? You think? I would love to go out again.
I'd be interested.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, I would love to do this. I would love to do this like more in general. I've been asked by, especially the Game Doctor side, so like devs and stuff are like, dude, we would love to hear you interviewing, other devs and getting them on the show and stuff. So maybe they just want to hear that kind of, maybe it's one of those things where I should listen to my fans, where there's probably this want and cool aspect where it's like, because what I hear is like, oh, okay, everyone wants to free content, get dev on stream, but then what they could be saying is like it'd be cool to hear the Game Doctor take, and that, like, I think it's more where I gotta listen to my community and stuff, which I usually don't. I'm like, it's just kind of like whatever, but they're probably on something, right? It probably would be a really cool space.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool, a segment. Also, I understand you also have trouble because you have these big streams. You'd like to get edited versions of some of the bits on YouTube, and that's time consuming, and how do you have time for everything? I assume your day is fairly hectic from
yeah, it's actually full. It's actually, if I actually explained my day, it would probably be like people would realize how much I sacrifice and like how much how unhealthy it is, probably, too, to be fair. It's like it's not good, right? Like it's probably bad to a fault, because I think
there's some degree of obsession and unhealthiness for anything you're really passionate about, and I think
I love that you said that. It probably comes with it too. Yeah, not saying it's okay.
It makes a difference.
But yeah,
like any major update for the game, I have done way too much long days and ate bad, and all the stuff leading up to it.
Noise. My gun is shooting like 1 bullet an hour.
Yeah, that 75% may have been. Oh no. Luckily, it's not green. You can drop it. You can drop.
Oh my God, you're right. I always forget that. We can take a chance and then drop it. It's shooting like 1 bullet an hour.
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay, keep going.
I can't even remember what I was talking about.
Okay, I see you're like me. I was gonna say, man, I'm so happy that I can just like butt in, and then you remember what you were gonna say because I can't. And you're like, wait, what was I saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was about work the balance, because a lot of people, if you're working a healthy day of schedule and you're meeting a deadline, you will probably have to cut something to make the release date work. So you kind of have to have some unhealthy periods to really make it as good as it can be. But it's tricky balance. I find after a big crunch, you just have to chill for a bit, and then you're back at it once you get the motivation again. But for you, it's kind of a constant because you're streaming every day or many days a week, and you client.
And then it's a client before the stream. Yeah, that's what I try to tell people. They're like, oh, you know, just get it on YouTube and stuff. It'll help you. And it's like, I 100% agree. What you guys don't
just
see
upload
is
it, man.
I'm
what do you
in
mean?
front of you
You've
10
internet.
hours a day. I'm standing in front of you. And then before I'm in front of you, I'm with the client in front of them. And it's like, now do the math. That's 13 hours gone, 14 hours gone. I'm hoping to get some kind of sleep.
The basic edit will do, man. Just to, you know.
Yeah. No, but it is
Funny.
true. I'm so grateful because I have some community members that have like stepped up and friends that have stepped up from the community, and they're like, I don't know if you saw the dev channel in our Discord, but they're like highlighting.
What's your? I need to join your Discord. Actually.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome. Yeah, join it.
Can you send me a link?
No one will harass you or anything. They're actually really cool
I'm
in there.
curious.
It's very cozy.
Yeah, I'd like to join.
But yeah, I think you'll just be interested in because you're always saying like just being able to like find some of the takes and stuff like that. So if you go in the Discord and you go down to the dev channel, which is fairly new, you're gonna see there's so many freaking videos in there already. That's all just the community in Soren that's just been like, dude, you're giving so much free value. We need to highlight that. And I'm like, dude, that shows somebody that's like hungry for this work. They want to level up and stuff. So I've been trying to like look out for them. But it's been so cute because now I see all the other devs like, oh my god, now it's like so much easier. And I feel like I've always needed that. So it's really nice because I just want to get the work out there to people, you know, and once they dance in that conversation,
nice
you know.
Space. Yeah, it's a really nice thing to do. And I think overall, above your own business and above anything else, you're doing this for the right reason, which is why I like watching your stuff, is you want games in general to be better. And that's what everyone would like. And it goes beyond any person, but it's the idea and the fact that the community is kind of around that is really cool.
Dude, you're so right. Yeah, it's like back to like brass tacks. Like, I always tell people like, I'm not a businessman first. This is actually new to me. I have a business coach even teaching me. Like, I didn't even know how to ask for money. It sucked, right? Like, it was such a learning curve, and I don't think people realize that. Like what people go through to be vulnerable and try something new. There's so many battles you don't see, right? Like, maybe even for a developer to put out a game, there's like so many battles. We're not even talking development, right? Like, for me to like create a business, ask for money, have the balls to, and like, you run into these good problems, as I say. Even to be a content creator, the first time I can go back, well, there's a new skill set that other people don't realize. The first time I had to reach out to dev to ask for a game, I was like, who the hell am I to ask? That was a learning curve, right? Like, there's so many good problems that you're gonna run into, but you're only gonna run into them if you choose to do something. And a lot of people don't, because they sit on the sidelines studying how to do something, right? Like, how do I open a business? How do I open the perfect? But you're gonna run into so many problems that you're just not gonna see coming yet, that you're gonna have to learn as a person and as what you're doing. I mean, that's why I call it good problems. Get out there and like run into problems, try stuff, right? And like,
run into the brick wall and learn. Yeah, it's true, because if to do anything, you're gonna fail horribly loads of times, and that's in any field, right? So, but seeing what you're doing and just be consistent at it, it makes me hope that more people will care and more people will come, and it's clearly already elevating stuff. So I just love to see it. And
dude, with you having my freaking bag and you saying that, bro, I feel like I plugged into a battery, bro. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Even the validation and stuff. Yeah, it's just something I like never had to, like, I don't know, not to make it like a mushy topic, I never talk about this on stream, but like coming from a family that doesn't really like have anything, like I always tell people, like, what you guys are seeing is a beautiful accident. Like, I stream from Harry Potter's closet, right? Like, I have nothing, right? Like, I came from nothing, my you know what I mean? Like, my parents definitely nothing, like, you know, and I don't know. So like, I feel like I fight for every inch, and so to have anything, people know me or people want to support me. It's like, wait, what is this? Because I didn't grow up that way. We didn't have any of that. So I don't know. It's just crazy to even be able to like. I never thought I'd even be doing this, and it's like a beautiful accident. I'm only here full time because COVID let it happen, and I saved up every single penny from COVID to barely, you know what I mean, to like stretch it out. And so I made sure I didn't go out. I didn't do anything else. You know what I mean? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, beautiful accidents happen, and like you sacrifice, and I took the opportunity. I'm like, cool. Oh my God, COVID happened. Uninsurance, all these things happen that I never saw coming. Let me turn this into like a blessing. I saved like every penny. I stopped going out so I can stretch the money so I can do what I love full time. And like, so it's like, yeah, every day is like a gamble, like that I'm here. It's like I'm barely, you know what I mean? Like it's scary. I'm not in like a sustainable spot, but like it's sustainable for now, right? In this very short term. And like, I've just been rolling with that for a couple years now, and it's still here. Where it's like, okay, I'm
couple years, no accident, you know.
I'm barely making it, and like, oh, that's fine, you know. It's like, you know,
no, like you were putting the work in to make it work over the long term, which is the big thing. Like, you have to be consistent. I see a lot of people with amazing energy, and they do it for 3 weeks or a month or 2 months, and then like after 2 months, cold turkey, and nothing happens. You seem to be just like, you know, every day, good energy, good motivation, hardworking, and that's just bound to bring good stuff. Because that's the same with Game Dev. You just have to do it every day, or else you will not make much. And you know, time flies in any world with any field, right? And it's, if you're able to just make every day at least somewhat useful. But I love where you're going with it, and I really
dude, that means the world to me, man. It really does. That means the world to me for sure. Definitely on like a deep level too. Yeah, I don't know, it means a lot.
Shop Island looks like you're gonna easily clear out this boss. Let's see.
Yeah, I told you. I told you. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like, I cannot picture the day where it's like, you know, like making it, like just being like, oh my God, dude, I'm here. Like, you know, the work paid off. I don't have to worry. You know, I'm waiting for that big moment and stuff. Like, I just want to, and it's just crazy because it's like life has told me like, nah, that can't happen. You have to get lucky for that, right? You can't work for that. You have to get lucky for that. And so that's why it became like my biggest fear. So it's, I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't want to jinx anything, but like, I want to like prove myself wrong in a way, right? Like, that can be attainable. Yeah. I don't know what that feels like. I've never been around people that have that, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's just a product of working hard and time. I truly believe. Like, I made music for years with, you know, nothing really. They were terrible songs, and no one really cared. That's part of every, you know, thing. But it's just very tricky in your case because you're doing very high quality work in a narrow field where devs were maybe reluctant to do, like, it's tricky, and I can totally see that. But your content creation is always getting better. People are clearly sticking around for you as a person, not just necessarily for what you're offering Game Doctor work. So I think regardless, you're gonna just keep getting better and more. You know, you're just gonna be that guy. Oh, I know, I remember this guy. He was playing. Oh yeah, he's playing this game that I like. And then, you know, you're naturally gonna get more and more success just by being. But the passion, the enthusiasm, you know, clearly anyone watching you for more than a stream is gonna realize like you're genuinely interested and genuinely doing this because you enjoy it, not necessarily doing it because you want to quickly get successful.
I love that. All right, stop gassing me up. Stop gassing me up.
Cinema. All right, let's do this.
Oh my God, let's freaking go. Dude, I told you guys from Island 1, I'm gonna make this a run. I felt it. Oh my God, this guy's hella armor.
Oh.
Wait, so what is the armor doing for enemies? Is it just extra HP, or is it like,
It's the same as for you, so it's gonna, when it breaks, it's gonna, actually no, they have element, everything the same for you except for elements. So,
okay.
Just blocks, clears, yeah, it just blocks damage. If you do a huge hit, it'll gate off the rest of the hit, you know.
Oh, okay.
But generally, it's just more health. Oh, you're doing good, though. This is looking very promising.
Big ability. Should probably take out this lightning skull first. Okay. I'm gonna try to freeze this guy. I,
Oh, he did it. Nice.
we said it was gonna
Easy
happen.
dubs.
You have another hard question.
Oh.
You have to read it out loud because I can't read it.
Got another hard question. Has Noise actually gotten personalized game doctoring yet, or is he still on the trial version? I just watched SC streams.
He just watches it all the time.
Yeah, I really enjoy that process of running into a wall, making wrong decision, and then figuring out where I'm going right, where to make it right. And obviously watching streams, listening to feedback is all part of it. But I kind of just like the slower, natural process of figuring that out, even though I could probably get much better at guidance very fast if I asked. But it's more just the process. But I agree with what you said. Especially I agree if you're a developer who's going to release your game and you want it checked and stuff. I'm sure that seems like a no-brainer from watching the streams. It seems like that's something you should definitely do. So I haven't personally, but I definitely would recommend it from what I've seen on the stream.
Appreciate that, man. You know, yeah, it's interesting if I can piggyback off that and let me know if you agree that it's also like a very different world of like, if you have the comfortability to just like infinitely explore and bump into walls, like you said, you have that freedom. I think also 99% of the time they probably don't, right? Like they're under a deadline, they don't have infinite assets, they're or whatever it may be. I hear it all the time where it's like, bro, I gotta make this decent, or man, I would love to make game dev my full-time thing. I would love to be able to keep doing, and I hear that passion story all the time. So the reality is, and in my opinion, is like, you guys do not have the freedom to just run into these walls. I wish you did, but you don't, is the reality. And so if I could tell you guys anything, it's like, get help. Like, you are launching and you're shooting yourself in the foot 95% of the time. And I know that because I'm eating all your launches. I'm digesting them, I'm eating them, and it's like, oh no, they don't see this coming. And it breaks my heart. It's not like I told you so. It's like we could have done something about it a lot earlier. We could have. When
it's a game where their launch relies on the future, like the future of the game relies purely on the launch, it is madness to not get a second opinion or something. Like you said, in a lucky position where the beta is going well. I had a bit of savings from Crabs and stuff, the song, so I kind of had a longer time to iterate, and that's because I enjoy that part. But if I was hinging my entire success of the game on the launch day, I would 100% say, hey, yes, you need to have it looked at, get it checked, make sure it's going to be okay, because one small thing can mean half your reviews are negative. That's the reality. And if you don't, so I definitely know what you mean. Like, I'm in a very lucky position where I can kind of take my time here, and and that's because it's the patch, it's the fun, you know. I'm enjoying it, I'm making mistakes, I made a mistake, I'm gonna fix it now. It's not like I'm, I have to make it perfect by next week, or else I'm gonna not be able to make games anymore. Obviously, if I was doing that, I would be in a different spot in terms of urgency, and I'd want to really make sure I'm not.
Yeah, that's why because I know that devs, it's very easy for them to learn the wrong things, and that's another long conversation that probably a lot of people don't understand, but we learn the wrong things a lot of times. So I don't want them to hear like, you know what, let's just run into problems and stuff. It's like, no, if you're in a situation where you can, of course, but if you want to like power level, or you need to get to the point, you can avoid a lot of plot holes and like dead ends by just having the right conversation, really, is all.
I agree.
What's
going on with your
I just got like 4.
Yeah, it kind of checks the island after if you loop. I don't know why. It's one of those things.
Wait, so it's getting one. What the hell?
Yeah, one loop is just a normal difficulty win, but then if you want the ranked win, like the diamond, you don't have all modifiers on anyway now, so you'd only get like max like emerald or ruby or something. But that's crazy. Love to see that. What even is that? You've got bouncing.
I don't know. I think it's something with boomerang or something.
Oh, yeah. So it's bouncing and then it's boomeranging back to where it started.
Is there a way to get those to come down lower? Like, what upgrade would I need to make those come lower?
Yeah, there's a heavy shot.
Oh, heavy!
But I think, that's pretty cool. For skulls, it's like a good height.
You can still have fun with SDs. That is true. That's true. I appreciate that. Life's too short. Life's too short to only learn from your own mistake. Yeah,
it's part of the fun. Some people, everyone has their own process, and I don't step on anyone's toes when it's like, if they want to, like for learning anything, you can go to college or you can learn it yourself. Either way, whatever works for you. It's with everything. I think there's a preference in how you want to work, and there's no wrong answer, really.
I think that's so true too, because like you have a passion of like loving the part of design that a lot of other people would not enjoy. Like you seem like you love every part, right? Where I promise you guys, 95% of the people I work with, if not 100%, they have things they love and things they don't. Like, and I'll name a popular one. I hate UI work, right? I always hear that. I hate the UI work. So they love like, certain parts, they hate certain parts, right? And so again, yeah, a lot of times you don't want to have to keep reworking, especially a part that you don't like 1,000 times, right? So you want to make sure you iron that out and like do it correctly. But also, I don't know what you have to say about this, and I'm curious, is a lot of the problems I find is like the time they come see me, it's too late to fix a lot of the things that they cooked on top of already, right? It's way too deep in and a lot of parts. And I think that's another thing. That's why it's like, I don't know what you would say to those people, but it's like, that's why my thing is like, bro, get in contact early. At least with me, I don't know where else I can send you because I don't know who else is this plugged in. And it's not like a selling me thing, but it's just be weary that a lot of times you guys are gonna cook, and the time you're getting your betas and your open feedback and stuff, it's too late for like root issues. So you have to band-aid at that point. And I don't know what else to tell you guys to avoid that part, and maybe you have a solution to avoid that, where it's like the only thing I know what to do is like get in contact with me sooner. But maybe there is another solution, and I would love to hear, because once it's too late, it's like it's too late. I never seen anybody go, yo, it's too late, but we're gonna undo the whole thing. It's like, no, you spent so much time, effort, and everything's connected to everything else, right? And it's too late. That's it. It's too late. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I think there's too early when you have no real game and you're not like, it's really easy to imagine a fun game with this idea, right? And it's actually so different how it turns out most of the time. Like, it does not work the way you think. So I would suggest get a prototype that does what you're trying to do with the game as simply as possible with the key elements, like the key progression and whatever, basic enemy, basic weapon, basic upgrade system. Then double check if that's what you think it's going to be, and then you imagine it with more layers of polish and new variety, and maybe get it checked on then. And then if you have a full game ready to go into release, I also think there's value going to you probably to check stuff like mouse sensitivity and just a lot of obvious things that maybe aren't obvious to everyone, because I've seen it from the all the negative reviews. I learned from that. I just made sure my game had most of those not in it so that I could learn from it. But there's a lot of devs that seem to put out games that just have very easy fixes, like like a toggle for your mouse or something like that that can be caught before release and save you a lot of reviews, because people are very nice in general, I found, at least for my game. And if you just make one misstep and make it kind of annoyance, that is enough to make someone go from positive to negative, even if they enjoyed 90% of the game. So finding those things and finding the original prototype, I think, are two good points that I would just get some kind of feedback to see if it's in the right direction. But it is a lot of work and a lot of hope in ideas from going from those two places. So it is really tricky to kind of to imagine where it's going to be, because I thought I was going to make a PvP game. So it can really? It completely changed over time as I got more into roguelikes. I changed more and more because PvP is really hard to do properly nowadays. You need servers, anti-cheat, and at the same time I was playing PvP games and being like, it's really toxic, I'm feeling angry after I'm playing, it's not fun anymore. I'm kind of feeling this burnout of everyone's so good at the game and angry about it. And then I was looking at roguelikes and like, if you just have fun on your PC or with your friends in some multiplayer one, but that you're all playing together and it's actually enjoyable. And I was like, how can a single player game be enjoyable? I thought it was just done for. I thought multiplayer games were the only way, but then I started enjoying that. So my whole idea pivoted. So you kind of have to have a minimum beta or minimum thing kind of working, and I advise people to try and get to the point as soon as possible, because the motivation of pushing builds and getting small iterative improvements to that build is huge, and then you can work from there. That's what I'm doing still with the beta. Like every day I've done 50 updates for this beta, I think 40 something. And it's just fun. Every day you put out a small extra bit of changes and you see the reaction and you can work from it, and it works from beta all the way up to your finished. I mean, that's what I'm planning on doing until 1.0.
Bro, that's powerful.
Tutorial. Oh, making tutorials. Yeah, make tutorials, UI. Ugh, worst work. What else do I hate? Worst one is when you have a niche thing and you change it, and then someone says, why did you make that an option? And it's like, you're making a settings menu option for this very side niche thing like that didn't work very well, so you replaced it. But then they wanted the old one as an option, so you're maintaining state for your game.
That's a
so I just say no.
one.
That's yeah, and it's really popular because it's like, well, why don't you please everyone make an option? But it makes sense to someone, but actually, you want to design it the right way so that you don't have to make options for all these weird kind of like it makes obviously options for graphics and for accessibility is great.
That's
but
definitely
options for like the legacy text system, which is completely different to the current one, but you're keeping it around just because someone asked for an option for it, and it can get really spidery in terms of like sub menus. And so I'm trying to really, yeah. Whenever I hear that request, I'm like, I'm gonna try and do the good. What's wrong with this design? Let's fix that, rather than let's try and keep all the old ones in there and then also add the new one on top of it. You know. It's funny. 9 Bullets said, I stepped away from work, but I'm back to tell you to hit that XL totem. I'm not sure if you did.
Nope. It's a good thing I didn't read that yet. I would have died.
Many small updates work so well with early access. Yeah, I think the key is just having a key thing to return for, and then every update's an enjoyment, like a fun thing for people to come back. Even if they only play one run, they're enjoying that run. Cool, put it down again, and then pick it back up in a few months when you. Actually, how's the loop scaling feeling? Haven't been really.
It's getting. I almost died like in every hit, every island
nice.
so far. Which
that was
I
also
love.
a thing, right? The previous live version, you coasted to the final boss. Then the first island of the loop was slightly challenging, and then you coasted to the loop, and then you can go infinitely. Now it's like, oh, ideally you're like, this is so easy. Oh no, I'm dying. Oh no, and just about, turning it back around. And if I can do that,
I have a new love
even
for
though looping
that.
is.
Like
Looping is by design a bit more repetitive, but if I can make you panic and still the game somehow manages to keep up with you, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's my new thing is like if you're gonna create a loop or like a challenge after that, make it a point to like really stress test your build and get to the point. Not how many hours can you go, if that makes sense.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Like stress test me and get to the point.
Oh, it's a spicy. Oh
my god, this is crazy.
Oh my god, how are you alive?
I don't know.
No. The healing is coming clutch. You're just about healing back what you need.
This is crazy. I don't know if melee kills healing or doing much. Is it?
I don't know. I think your regenerator is the main one. But also, I have a strong dislike for any kind of scaling to your build in a game. So I'm trying to make sure it's that you satisfyingly outscaled the brutal scaling, rather than the game has made it always so that you're within this range of defeating an enemy, so it feels good.
But vampires heal 6 health. That's why I don't feel it.
Your regenerators probably do. Wait, that is multiplied by your amber resin, so you get a bit more.
True.
I almost died every island. Immediate dev excitement. Exactly. That's what you want.
Melee cooldown. Let's freaking go, dude. Yeah, I like that it's so big. Like in a way, it's like, okay, so it's like you start looping and you're like, okay, this is gonna go off. So like I'm excited that it might kill me. It's weird. It's like, okay, yeah, they know this is exciting.
And ideally, it just goes over the top, and there's crazy amounts of enemies. It's not just the same thing again with maybe 2 more enemies. It's like noticeably more. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped about the revive system because it finally fixes my big gripe with a lot of games where you're in a 4-player multiplayer run, you're fighting a tanky enemy, a boss, and then your 3 teammates die, and then you're left, chipping away for 20 minutes on this one really tanky boss. Now they have to go revive him, and you can then get the players back without the game kind of artificially scaling down the health again and being like, you know what, all your teammates are dead, you can have a nice easy fight now, because people just min-max that kind of stuff. So, because elites were just too easy before. I remember last time you played, you were shredding. I know you're shredding now because your build's good, but that's because you're good. Not
I had to work for this. Yeah.
You had to work for it, and that's fun. Yeah.
That's like a whole nother thing with people that don't know how to analyze games and stuff. They'll see like, okay, I'm really good at this, so the game is easy. Where a lot of people will see like me dominate and stuff, and I'll be like, no, this game's actually really hard, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just and I'm like, no, I'm not talking about this build or how I'm playing. I just know what it takes for me to be playing good here. I know how niche it is, or I know, like, I could see it a lot deeper, and I'll be like, no, trust me, it's hard. And they'll pick it up and be like, oh my god, you're right, the game was so hard. And it's like, yeah, no, I this is all I do. So just because I make something look easy or it is easy doesn't mean it's easy. And I think a lot of people can't dissect that, or a lot of other content creators, maybe it's not the point, but like they can't differentiate. Like, it's good if I like it, it's bad if I don't like it. If I'm good at it, it's easy, and if it's bad, right? And it's no, it actually has nothing to do with it. And I had a client call once where it's like, the whole time I was like messing around and trying to analyze different things, right? So I wasn't playing normal. And I remember after the call, they're like, oh, it's funny because you were having a hard time the whole time. And I'm like, no. This game was actually way too easy. Like it's no, like, oh, you thought I was trying to play to win. No, I was doing work. I'm working for you. And so it's like, yeah, don't be disguised. Yeah, it's not. I'm not. Don't think just because I'm on stream here, I'm like, oh, he's trying to win. It's like, no, I'm trying to actually see a bunch of different things here. Like, can I make these elemental builds work, or can I make this work, or is that a weak point? Do you have to engage from enemies far away? Or now I'm forcing myself into close range and stuff. I'm not, because I think that's smart. It's like maybe I'm looking at different things here. I'm not trying to play to win, right? If that makes sense.
And then the trickiest challenge based on that is for a dev, I think, at least for a roguelike like this, is making it so that a really seasoned player who's played 1,000 hours will have somewhat challenge, and might die, might lose a run, but has great fun, and then someone who's just picking it up will also have a reasonable challenge that isn't horribly, because a lot of people buy the game, they play True Nightmare right off the bat, and they want to win, and they're like, this game is unbalanced because you can't win, but
this is
you
for
have
9.
to kind of cater to so many different. You just have every group counted for, or else there's gonna be fun. Oh, look at this. This is gonna be. Oh, you got some good AOE though. Oh, this is This
I'm
is,
dead. I'm so dead.
This is the wrap.
Yeah, this is a wrap.
No way you get it. There's an additional one spawns on the loop as well.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's no way.
I got emerald. No. Wait, emerald is good? What am I shooting for?
You want at least ruby if you want to try ultra chaos.
Okay, so we're working up.
More up from emerald.
Oh, okay. So we're going up. Holy crap. Oh my god, I got a vampire skin, dude.
Oh, yeah. Ideally, players start lower difficulties, they're getting their medals, but there's no gating, so the game lets you play on top if you really want to. But the absolute ultra chaos is too extreme, so it's locked away because people would try and play on it and then have a really angry because it's not fair on purpose. It's just meant to be crazy.
I think that's done beautifully. Yeah, no, I think that's a super smart idea. And that's coming from someone that doesn't like the gated difficulties, but that's because it's not because I don't like it. It's because games do it so poorly, like Slay the Spire, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. But yeah, no, I think it's really smart to do that. Like, hey, play at any difficulty you want, but we also have this hidden difficulty here too, or whatever it is. It's awesome. That's so cool. And they're not even going to know about it, right?
Right. It's a little treat. They oh, wow, I thought I was the best at this game. No, let's try this mode. And then it's like a ultra skill test, so it's
like surprise.
And then that mode is getting special modifiers in the future as well. It's one of my mini updates where because that has a very controversial mechanic where you have to pick up every piece of crystal that falls on the floor, because it actually really increases the skill gap, because not only do you have to care about where you're killing enemies, you have to work around a path to go back and collect it without taking damage, and it actually adds a lot of skill, but a lot of people don't like it because it's, it is tedious to have to go and collect stuff, but it does add that magic sauce to really show that you're able to maximize your economy around this thing. So I'm adding like modifiers just for this difficulty that'll show up later that you can toggle on and off. So if you want to do an absolute extreme run where you're just probably going to die every time, go for it, that's fine. But that's one of those mini updates that'll come in a while.
Dude, I want the randomizer thing so freaking bad. I'm a competitive guy, but I also then found my love for roguelikes at some point. It seems like we were all that way. Like, we grow up playing Call of Duty and, like, competitive things, and then, like, I don't know, like, at least for me, then discovered my love for, like, roguelikes in a game where it wasn't, like, formulaic that I was getting in other story-based games, where it's, like, you kind of, like, play through it, and then, I grew up playing N64, you know where things are going to be, and now I know. But now it's like, wait, what is this roguelike thing?
Emergence, RPG build crafting, and packed small runs that you can just repeat and do little 2 or 3 runs a night, and that's so much fun. The thing I love about roguelikes is you're having fun all of the time. You're not just sitting around waiting in the lobby. You're waiting, a game to start. There's nothing. You just play. And a good roguelike puts you in the game.
Play.
You have fun the whole 45 minutes. You exit the game. It all just was fun for those 45 minutes, and you had fun. And that's the goal for me, at least.
Yeah,
I think that's what
the
games about, right? You're having fun here. We're not working. So some games make playing feel like work once you realize.
Dude, just these builds that you encouraged me to play today, I feel like broadened my love for the game for sure. Because now I'm like, damn, I get to play the way I've been wanting to. It's just like kind of like being able to dash in, engage, and stuff like that. And this katana just like brought it out of me. And it's like, dude, I love where it's going. It's so cool. This is so freaking awesome. Oh my, it's It's going
Well, thank you
crazy.
so
Is
much for
SD cooking?
playing,
Oh, he
and
cooked. Yeah, what did you...
he's cooking.
Bro, we have to do this more. Like, wait, I was gonna ask because you were talking about multiplayer and stuff like that. Did you ever play Repo yet?
No, but that's made by the Voidigo devs.
Voidigo
I really want to try that.
devs. Dude, we should, if we set something up with some like other devs, I get like Axolotl, like other, like, dude, what if we did like a little, you know, gaming hour, we all play like Repo or something? Would you be down for that?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I have to see what that game. It looks like Lethal Company or something.
Like Lethal Company. It's like a Lethal Company. Yeah, it's like a quick, silly, like,
I
extraction.
still haven't played Lethal Company, but I saw something.
Dude, wait a second. That could be really fun. It plays with like proximity chat. So it's like, it's, yeah.
I love that. I love when games do that and they make it like underwatery or, you know, different sounds depending on where you are. It's really cool.
Dude, I might have to come up with something. Maybe we do like a gaming night or something. What up, Bedstar? Dude, I think that would be kind of lit. Yeah, I'm gonna cook something. I'm gonna cook something for sure. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wait. So wait, where are you gonna put this other banner, the other billboard?
Yeah, so it's gonna be in front of you, so you have to see it. It's gonna be somewhere.
Yeah, smart.
When you spawn in behind you, behind your current place, and it'll be just this nice gleaming banner of new stuff, and people are gonna enjoy just reading what's new. Cause,
how'd you come up with this idea?
They might have always.
It's amazing.
I guess I just some ideas just work because you're like, this sounds good, and it does, and it works.
And it did it. It did.
It might have been just one of those. Yeah, I don't remember any specific reason. I just thought it'd be cool. 'Cause I do find that I don't read patch notes sometimes. I love them now, but when I used to play games, I would just jump in the game, and there was rarely a in-game way to check what's new. So
yeah,
I don't know. Just felt like a dumb idea that worked out.
It just felt smart. Dude, I talk about it all the time now as like a reference. Like I reference it all the time.
That's awesome.
It used to be Shattered Pixel Dungeon, but now it's like Shattered and your game. I reference like, yo, keep me in your world and excited for your game. Don't send me to your Reddit or something, right? Like keep me in your space, right? Like, and your game does that, and I love that. It's like so cool.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's really sick. The Boiler's giving me hella Half-Life custom mods. I don't even know. I never messed around in that world. So... Just still more damage. Damage increase. Dude, you got
watching this makes me want to just go add more stuff.
Does it? Yeah, it
I just
probably
want to add
gives you
more
that
variety,
feeling, right?
Yeah. I just want to, because I know where I want it to be, where every starting chest is quite different. Like you're seeing the same choices, you know, so it works better for one playthrough now and then rather than repeated. But where I'm going with it is like I want to have like really interesting starting chests every time, and not unlimited.
Wait, I just thought about that.
Bigger pool, right?
Yeah, if you cheat the early drafts or create the early drafts generally in roguelikes and games and stuff, because those could be your more direction-y branches and stuff, like more identity and things like that. And then after that, now it's like leading them somewhere, and then after that you have these other choices that could then be percentages or pulling on different strings and stuff. So it's interesting. I never really thought about that concept. Huh.
Yeah, just getting the start feeling interesting enough, because like this regen chest is a new thing where you now get guaranteed healing, but I just want it to be a bit more where it shapes the run slightly more. Maybe the relic thing at the start of it on. There's a lot of cool things you can try because but yeah, it's just a matter of time. Just gotta really. Anyway, speaking of time, I have yapped far too much, and I apologize for any more yapping. But
don't
just want to say thank you so much for having me on.
Misfits, drop some freaking love.
Pleasure. So I will run out and now start working on this deadline for the next 10 days because I do need to get this thing finished. But it was amazing to see you play. So happy to see you know, nailing it, get that victory,
bro.
Making it look easy as always. And yeah, keep up the amazing work. I will be watching the sidelines when I can. Bro,
much freaking love. Let me give you your flowers real quick. You're not leaving me without me giving you your flowers, dude. You are cool as hell, bro. Dude, just as like as a person, dude, it's so cool. I feel like when we first met, like you should see me fanboying. Like I was going around telling people IRL, I'm like, bro, like this is crazy, this is crazy. He knows my stuff. He saw my stream. Like, dude, it's so cool. But you're like such a, again, it goes back to that, like past all of that and like what we're doing, but like just like how we go about things, how we think, you know, how passionate, just people being passionate about what they're passionate about and stuff like that, dude. It is so freaking sick. So, dude, I am here for anything that you do. Dude, keep doing it. I'm like one of your biggest supporters, man. I'm a huge fan. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this, man.
And thank you for having me. Really, really was fun. So take it easy. Have a great rest of the stream and have a good weekend. All right.
All right, brother. See you, Noise. Be good, dude.
Thank you.
Dude, let's go. See you, man. Chat, drop some freaking love, baby. Drop some freaking love, baby. Dude, GG mans? Dude, W mans or what? Thank you for participating, listening. It was a pleasure. Dude, I knew you guys were going to love this cat. I knew you guys were going to love this guy.